Beautiful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are, on the surface of this very planet, even those who are submerged in submarines, Biafrans who are serving in civilized armed forces all over the world, because I got a message that they listen to this very enlightening, very expository and delightful gospel of the restoration of Biafra. And this evening, it doesn't matter where you are. It could be your morning, it could be your afternoon, it could be your midnight. I welcome each and every one of you, and as I do so, I will encourage you to welcome those who are around you, even if they are far away from you. It is your duty and your responsibility to ensure that the propagation of this very gospel is without any hindrance. Do not respect any barriers, and of course is there to enlighten those who otherwise would have been lost in darkness and in stupidity. Here we enlighten. Here we chase darkness away. Here we do the will of God in heaven. Here we preach for the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth. The promise of old, because Elohim never changes, and because of that, I am very confident that Biafra will come in our time, and that very time is now. If you do not have your pen and paper ready, then I do not believe that this is the class you need to be attending, because here we dissect and then we stitch things back up together again, that nothing is hidden. It doesn't matter how they try to do it. Here we have the very finest intelligence service anywhere on this very planet Earth. On this very platform, on this very radio Biafra, do we propagate the truth? Can never ever be hidden. Wherever you're listening to us from, I can assure you this very moment, this very precise minute, that is light upon you. That is light upon you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. And unlike anywhere else, this is Radio Biafra. Every country on this very earth is listening to us. There are many ways by which or through which you can do that. You can listen via my page on radio, on Facebook, of course, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You can listen via Radio Biafra page, also on Facebook. You can listen to us via tuning. You can listen via Simple Radio. Radio Biafra is on FM in the blessed land of Biafra. I believe I am not mistaken when I say that 3/4 of Biafra land is covered on FM. We are also on satellite. We have Radio Biafra app. Should you wish to participate or take part in this very program this evening, you are more than welcome to do so. I know that this zoo is vibrating, and of course it should vibrate. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and by the very special grace of Chukwokika Elohim in heaven, Tamunam, Tabasingbong, I welcome each and every one of you, because I'm here to serve you until the end of time, and Biafra will come. And one of the ways through which that restoration will be made possible is by this very relentless dissection of the abomination that is the Zoological Republic. Damnable Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Anybody who wishes to belong to that place, may God have mercy upon your soul. because things are happening, and this evening we shall reveal all of them. Those things are hiding. This evening, and about how the world will know about it. And then you make up your mind where you belong. For me and my household, we belong to Biafra. And the only mechanism or machinery that can bring that about is IPOB. That is why we are steadfastly glued to this very effort without any wavering, without any fear, without any prevarication, without any retreat nor surrender. We are live and the whole world is listening. Do you know how you can determine if a program is live? It is by looking at the clock on your wall, or looking at the wristwatch you're wearing, or looking in front of your phone. It doesn't matter where you are. The time now is exactly 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Regardless of where you are in the world, it is 8 minutes past the top of the hour. In Biafra, it is 8 minutes past 7 p.m. Check it. That is how you know we are live and we are direct. And humanity is at a standstill. Everywhere people are listening. There are some under the bed. There are some who are in their cars outside telling their wives that they are working on the car, that there is something wrong with the battery of the car, that the alternator is not working. But they have an earpiece and they listen to Radio Biafra. Humanity will bear us witness, because we have come that the zoo may fall. As always, we commence our proceedings this evening by committing it to the hands of Elohim in heaven. That same the God Almighty, the I am that I am, the Ancient of Days, the Ancient of the Ancients, the Creator of everything that you see around you. Nothing made Elohim. He was before time began. And his goodness lasts forever. And it is upon the promise of that goodness that we anchor this very restoration, that Biafra may come in our time. And we will show the whole world that black people are not animals after all. We want to prove it in our time, in our lifetime, and we're going to do it. That is why we say unequivocally that man cannot stop what we are doing. It doesn't matter who you are. You cannot stop it. If you're in doubt, come out on any social media platform, do a video and say to us, over my dead body will Biafra come, and you will see what will happen to you. Then you know that our mission is divine. That this very IPOB is not two, is only one. And its purpose is being fulfilled before our very eyes. We must pray wherever we are. I wanted to pray in the language of heaven, but people are imploring me that they want to understand the prayers that I pray, that I should try to pray in English. And this very evening, with all that is happening around us all over the world, we ask you, the creator of the universe, the maker of everything that ever been made, the architect of our existence, the beginning and the end. They say you are the Alpha and the Omega, but we know who you are. That you are creation, Okike. And there is none like thee. We ask thee this evening, O Heavenly Father, as coronavirus, this very ugly pestilence, is ravaging your creation, ravaging humanity. We call upon thee, as your children are dying in the land of Biafra, as the Janjaweeds are all over the place, deploying their army and their police and their terrorist groups all over the place, slaughtering, maiming, raping, and destroying your children. We ask you to make haste, oh God in heaven, to deliver your children. Come very quickly to help those who are in anguish, because you are our Lord and our Creator and our Maker. You have started already to put them to shame. You have started to confound all of them. And imagine the Janjaweed, those from the very darkest recesses of hell. Those who are after the soul of your children, those who have come that they may destroy your handiwork. turn them around and put them in confusion as they are in right now. Because as we pray unto thee this very evening, as mankind is listening from every corner of this very globe that you made, there is confusion in Asorok. Those of them that desire to hurt us, today they have been hurt. Turn them around and let their reward be their shame. All of them who laugh at your creation, at your children, those of them that mock this very divine mission, may shame be their portion. Let all of us that seek your face be able to rejoice and be glad in thee. That is why we say that we lift you up, O Heavenly Father. We lift you up, El Shaddai. We lift you up, Elohim. Look at how poor we are. People are impoverished. There is no food. There is hunger everywhere. Oil can no longer be sold. Those who are ignorant of the facts of life are now going to realize it in a very difficult and in a very painful way. But only you can have mercy. Only you can help us. Please do not delay. Deliver your children. Give us Biafra, that your temple may be rebuilt in Arochukwu, that your name may be exalted, praised, adored, and worshipped from every generation to every generation, now and forevermore, we pray. He said, this very evening you must pay very close attention to this very gospel of redemption. Because as the truth is being spoken, the walls of the citadel of darkness is crumbling. As we are live on the air propagating this very gospel, they are panicking. They are panicking in Asorok. Those left alive by COVID-19, they are in a state of panic. Their brains are sterile. They have gone completely mad. There are lunatics everywhere. Because we told them, we will not fire one bullet. We will drag the entire zoo down, not through any strength that we possess, not through any extraordinary gift that may be attributable to a mortal flesh, but only by the grace of God in heaven. Upon whom and in whom this very effort is anchored. That is why we know that the zoo has fallen and will continue to fall. This evening, today is Wednesday, the 22nd of April. The time is 7:15 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. We preach the gospel of heaven, that mankind may bear us witness, that when it comes to pass, they will say there was a time they preached this very gospel, they said what was about to come, and in their time and before their eyes, those things came. It happened. The prophetic gift that we possess is from heaven, not made of man. This very evening I start on a very somber note, not because of poor people who are dying everywhere, not because of the fact that they're now saying that they have coronavirus in the blessed land of Biafra. If that is true, we do not know. We are still investigating. That people are dying all over the place, all around the world. We must remember that those who are dying, they have relatives, they have children, they have grandchildren. Some of them have brothers and sisters. Some have mothers and fathers. We must remember each and every one of them and ask God in heaven to please have mercy. I go to what I call a missed opportunity in the life of those who are in the zoo called Nigeria. They must listen very carefully this evening. Today is the 30th anniversary of the Gideon Oka coup. Major Gideon Oka, he was a TV man. He's from Benue State in today's, should I call it political nomenclature in the zoo, Benue. He's a TV man. He is not a Biafran. These were the people that the powers that be convinced that the problem of Nigeria following the 1966 coup was an Igbo man. You must listen attentively to this very gospel this evening. Very important to do so. And sometimes I hesitate to delve into what I call convoluted grammar that may please those who subscribe to the view that mastery of flowery English language somehow confers upon you a particular, or should I say, a degree of intellect. It doesn't wash with us. There are grandmothers who are listening, and for their sake and their sake alone, we tend to modify the way we present this very program, that our mothers and our fathers in the villages may be able to understand and follow this program. To the Alamajiri, it is very confusing to them. They will never ever understand, as I will be able to demonstrate later on as we proceed this very evening with this very wonderful rendition of a gospel from heaven itself. I am quoting verbatim what Major Gideon Oka said. So when I preach what I preach, people should not see it that I'm condemning a particular people. TV man is not Igbo. He is not a Biafran. Gideon Oka, 22nd of April, 1990, this was what he said. That's how we begin this program this evening. This is not just another coup. He was making this broadcast at the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria in Lagos when they attempted to take power from Babangida. Listen very carefully. I beg you in the name of God in heaven. Listen very carefully. This is not just another coup, but a well-conceived, planned, and executed for the marginalized, oppressed, and enslaved people of the Middle Belt and the South, with a view to free ourselves and our children yet unborn from eternal slavery and colonization by a clique of this country. He said this thing 30 years ago. 30 years ago, 22nd of April. The same thing that I am preaching. The same thing that Nnamdi Kanu is preaching. The same thing that IPOB is propagating. It is not a new philosophy. It is not a new ideology. Do you know why I picked this up? To let people understand that the words used by Gideon Oka are manifesting this very day. Are you not being marginalized, all of you in the Middle Belt? By the South, he was referring to Oduduwa and Biafra. Are you not being marginalized? This is Gideon Oka. In 1990, listen very carefully. He said, we are being marginalized. That is why we are doing this coup. We are being oppressed. That is why we are doing this coup. We are being, wait for it, enslaved. That is why we are carrying out this coup. Our children, even those we have not given birth to, even those that will come in the future, like those that will come in the year 2020, they will become eternal slaves to the cabal in Abuja, to the cabal which Abba Kyari represented before he died. Henry Gideon Oka saw this in 1990. I think he should be elevated to the status of a saint. If you are in Roman Catholic Church, in Anglican Church, if you believe in sainthood, I believe that Gideon Oka is a TV man. He should be elevated to the position of a saint. He said, the children we are going to give birth to, if we don't do anything now, they will become eternal slaves. You know what happened in Agatu. Some of you know what is happening in Benue State. Do you see that everything that Gideon Oka talked about is happening and unfolding before your eyes? Do you know why I'm dwelling on this? To let you know that once you receive a prophetic message like this, you must do something about it. And do you know the funniest thing? This very anniversary, this 30th anniversary of Henry Oka's coup against corrupt Bangida's regime, I'll read out the full text of the speech he made. You know why it's very funny? It was because of this coup that Babangida accelerated his move to Aso Rock in Abuja. And inside Aso Rock, he called the Israelis. They designed the office so that nobody, not even a light infantry, cannot storm Aso Rock and succeed in penetrating the office of the president. And surprise, surprise, at the 30th anniversary of Henry Yoka's speech on his coup, that office is locked. There is nobody there. The reason why you have such high level of security inside Aso Rock is because they know that middle belt officers are angry. They know that southern officers are angry. They know there are people who cannot tolerate the continued slavery of themselves, their wives, their fathers, their mothers, their children, even those unborn. That is happening today. Now you understand, don't you? Now you understand, don't you? 30 years ago. I said 30 years ago, Gideon Oka was saying this, 22nd of April. That particular coup, everybody was rejoicing. Everybody was rejoicing all over the world that corruption was falling. That was the proper anti-corruption, the proper anti-corruption fight that was going on. The real anti-corruption fight against the very corrupt regime, of Babangida. That some people come, I'm a Babangida boy. They are posing with it. But the man was insipidly corrupt. That is why when I see people support corrupt men, I go crazy. I go mental. I cannot handle it. Because evil is evil. Henry Yoka, sorry, I keep saying Henry Yoka. I keep saying Henry Yoka. Why Henry Yoka? That traitor, he's in a jail somewhere in the north. He was working for them and they jailed him. This one is Gideon Oka, please, Major Gideon Oka. He was the 9th child born to a family. And what a beautiful name. Levi, which is Levi Oka, C-H-I. If they are Biafrans, if they are Igbo, we'll discuss that later on. The father was a teacher. His village is Gwa. He's from a place called, his village is Apir, A-P-I-R, in Gwa local government area in Benue State. Isn't it very funny? Every revolution, be it in the West Indies, be it anywhere else in the world, always comes from people from once you cross the Benue River. Once you cross Benue River, your thinking changes, you become a radical. Yorubas could have been the same. Yorubas, they have radical people in Yoruba. I mean radical, strong ones in Yoruba land. As stubborn as we are. But it is the influence, or should I say the contamination of Ilorin, that Muslim blood, that treacherous blood in Ilorin, that is holding the Yorubas back. At least I give that to them. Now let me go into details. This is just a preamble to the gospel you're going to hear this evening. That the world may bear us witness that this madness of Nnamdi Kanu is not just confined to the territory, the geography we know as Biafra. A TV man, said the same thing 30 years ago. That the Janjaweed Alamajiri, their aim is to enslave everybody. That is why they're in Ongwa today arresting people. That is why they send Miyeti Yala, their Fulani headsmen, to go to villages, kill and burn. That is why all the money they borrow, they give it to the EU to be holding, to be bribing people. They get the best consultants in the world. That is why if you're an ambassador to Nigeria, from any of the EU countries, from Canada, from US, as soon as you come in, $1 million is lodged into your account. So that when Fulani people are going about inviting their army of darkness from Mali and killing people, they won't say a word. They will never say a word. That is what is happening. That is what is happening. That is why all their plots against me will always fail. Because Chukwu Kikabiyama said I must speak the truth always. Any that's supposed to stop speaking the truth, I'm gone. You must speak it. It doesn't matter where you are, you will speak it. And that's what I'm doing. Listen to Gideon Oka's speech, 22nd of April 1990. Fellow Nigerian citizens, I don't agree with him, of course. I will call it fellow zoo animals. That's how I refer to it. But he said, fellow Nigerian citizens, on behalf of the patriotic and well-meaning peoples of the Middle Belt, Exactly what I've been telling you. Middle Belt needs to be a territory of its own. He did not say on behalf of we Nigerians because he knows he is a born and bred child of the East. He knows very well what the truth is. You cannot be pretending you are one when you are not one. You cannot be pretending you are one when a Papa Wharf is clogged up. You cannot open up Iguacha Seaport, which you call Port Harcourt. You cannot open up Calabar. You cannot open up Warren. You cannot open up Onem. You claim you're one country. Only airports outside a particular region is working. You claim you're the same country. We are one Nigerians. So when I see people from Biafra, people from the East, talk about one Nigeria, I feel ashamed on their behalf. I am filled with shame. You have no international airport that can fly abroad. No, you don't. Even the Ethiopia Airways or whatever they call it, it has to land either in Abuja or in Kano before it goes to Addis Ababa. You have no seaport. This is Atlantic Ocean. This people go past Warri on Iguacha Calabar to deliver goods in South Africa. They cannot stop there because of the satanic arrangement between compromised Yoruba people and the Fulani. And today everybody is suffering it. Everybody is suffering. Nobody is having fun anymore, are they? You are in the country claiming one Nigeria. We are on Channels TV, one Nigeria. But you are the same people that said that Iguacha Seaport will not open. That was the deal they had. For them to move the capital from Lagos to Abuja, Yoruba had to agree that no other seaport will open in Biafra land. No seaport going to Igbo land. It was Obasanjo that stopped the production of Oporoko, stockfish. Are you aware of that? Before, Aba used to be the capital of second-hand clothing. In fact, textile. Remember, beauty textile mill in Aba? It was this same clique of people that ruined everything. When I hear people from Biafra land say we are Nigerians, I look at, honestly speaking, I don't have words to describe you. I have no words to describe you. Listen to this very carefully. He said, on behalf of the patriotic and well-meaning peoples of the Middle Belt and the southern parts of the country, I, Major Gideon Oka, wish to happily inform you of the successful ousting of the dictator. Was a cult of homosexuals, of which Abba Kyari was, of course. Today, I know him very well, and I know the boyfriend. You people don't know what is happening in your zoo. Do you think that the curse that was laid on Asorok is a joke? Anybody who goes in there, you either die or you lose a relative. Go now to Asorok, you see what will happen to you. Abba Kyari is the last one. I said it live on air. If you go into Asorok to rule Nigeria, you will die there. Or your family, somebody from your household will die. Ask Jonathan, he will tell you. Ask Obasanjo, he will tell you. Ask Babangida, he will tell you. Ask Yaradua, he will tell you. You people don't know what you're in for. You have no idea that this very movement of IPOB, this Biafra movement, will crush the zoo to the ground. It will crush it to the ground. It cannot survive. It can never ever survive. That I assure you. You watch and see what is going to happen. I will continue. We have equally commenced the trials for unabated corruption. There's still corruption to you today. The same people, the same Janjaweed. Babangida's father is a Yoruba man. He knows that very well. The mom is Gwari. His father is Yoruba. He ran to his mother's people. John decided to do Rankadede. Babangida is a Yoruba man. We continue. His name is Badamosi. Go and ask anybody they know. Don't they know that? We have equally commenced their trial for unabated corruption, mismanagement of national economy, and wait for it, the murders of Delegiwa, Major General Maman Vatsa with other officers that did not participate in a coup, but mere intentions that were yet to materialize, and other human rights violations. Do you know why I respect Gideon Oka once again? He's a lover of the truth. If you don't love Delegiwa, that means you're not a lover of truth. That means you can never ever accept truth in your life, and you can never progress. Sadly, both men lost their lives, but we are not discouraged. No sensible person will be discouraged. None whatsoever. When I told you that Babangida killed Delegiwa, did you believe me? You didn't. Now that Major Gideon Oka, I'm now reading what he said in 1990. Now you believe me? Everybody knew. Parcel bomb. Delegiwa was having breakfast in the morning, and they delivered the parcel to his house. He opened it. The parcel exploded, and all his stomach came out. His intestines came out. Who sent the parcel bomb? To Babangida. And after that, he actually killed the man that organized it. That's how evil that man is. Do you know why they killed him? Because he went into all the corruption from MPN. Those who planned even the killing of Delegiwa, even the French were amongst those that planned to kill him because of Fugro. Some of you don't know Fugro. Go and Google it. It was a construction firm. Fugro was in agreement with MPN. Some of you are talking about Ismaila Issa Funtua. That was how he got his money. That was how he'll be shocked tonight how I know these things. That was how he got his money. The corruption perpetrated by MPN with Fugro was so much that when Delegiwa died, Fugro representatives in France took out an advertisement in the newspaper and said they're very happy that he's dead. In other words, it is black people helping to enslave themselves for the white man. It is not the white man. It is black people enslaving themselves for the benefit of the white man. That's Gideon Oka's speech, and many more. Gideon Oka said that from the beginning, it has always been the plan of the Fulani Caliphate to dominate. That's what he's saying. But these were the same people that lied to everybody, came into my nation, into my land, into Biafra, went to my own people in the coastal region, Ejo, Ibibio, Efik, and said to them, Igbo man is domineering. Look at what is happening to us today. Who is domineering who now? Who is dominating who now? And the same thing that they are doing now locally by selecting a few people, promising them 2023 they give them appointment to defend evil, is exactly what the Europeans have done to us. They select who goes into power in Africa. If they don't like you, as the French have done time and time again, they kill you. And your next door neighbor will be who would want to own a house in Dubai, in New York, in Paris, in London. They will gladly go in with his village people to say, "Oh, good riddance, he's dead. Let's leave him." African people is we are the architects of our own misfortune, greed, and repudiation of the truth. That is why I love Delegiwa. That is why I love Gideon Oka. I love him so. These are people who stood on the truth and paid dearly for it. But if we all keep quiet, then all their sacrifice will be in vain. But if we pursue this mission to its logical conclusion, then we have won, at least for their memory. I am making this announcement this night for people from Benue, TV people. Do you now see it? Do you now understand it? That exactly what we are doing, what I'm doing was what your own son did 30 years ago. And why everybody must support the collapse of the zoo. You must support it. You have to. You must. I remember a very clever chap. He goes by the name Chimez HM, but I call him Chimez here. You know what he said? And I love this so much that I lifted it. of his page, because I don't plagiarize. When I quote you, I give you credit. I'm not the one who came up with this. His name is Chimezie. Chimez HM is his name, and I will tell you exactly what he said. And that is exactly how I feel. He said, we are fighting demons. That the biggest demon we are fighting, he said, and that is exactly the problem with our connection. He said, I don't know why Facebook keeps doing this all the time. Demons. I don't know what is wrong with that. Those you can see in on the same network, everywhere else is fine. It's only on my page that they're interrupting it. It's only on my. I don't know what is wrong with them. We are hitting them very hard, isn't it? If you don't understand what I'm saying, let the next person interpret for you. People should interpret for them on Facebook and on all platforms where this program is being listened to. We are decimating the zoo from the bottom up. There will be nothing left. Brick by brick, we are dismantling Asorok. Brick by brick. Listen to what this young man said. He said that the biggest demon we are fighting is ignorance. Do you know why? Because a black man, not all of us, I must say, not all of you who are listening, please, but a disproportionate majority of black people, we love evil. We love evil. If we don't love evil, you cannot tell me that a young man, you went to secondary school, your parents struggled to put you through school. You went to secondary school from the house. You went to a university where you never had a running water for one day, where you have to go down to fetch water in a bucket, in a tank, to be able to flush toilet that is on the 6th floor of your hostel. After going through all this nonsense, you came out, you went through youth service, where your life did not improve, where all the highlight of your month is looking forward to 30,000 naira payment. 30,000 naira that cannot buy you a flight ticket from Lagos to Abuja, a flight ticket from Iguacha to Enugu. You cannot. You're very happy. You come out of school, you're struggling, and then you go and buy a second-hand phone from the market. You come online and you start to defend evil in broad daylight. Now tell me how such a people can improve in life. Tell me how Africans can make progress. After going through all these things, you don't even if you're not doing it for yourself or those, remember your parents that suffered to put you through school. They put you through school so that you can make life better, not just for yourself, but for all those around you. That is the essence of education. That is why people, all civilized and advanced governments all over the world, invest so heavily in education. In the UK, they're about to discover a vaccine. But in the zoo, people are looking for bread to eat. Not even, what we're even fighting is hunger. Not even the man corona itself. We are fighting hunger first before we now meet the granddaddy, corona. How are we going to survive it when our immune system is depleted? If you don't eat, how can you boost your immune system to repel coronavirus when it comes? Now you understand, don't you? Ignorance is unseen. You need to understand something. That Europe is advanced today, or that China is relatively advanced in terms of technology, but their wickedness is still there, or that Japan is advanced. All this, of course, they copied from the West. There was a movement started in Florence by the Medicis in Italy a long time ago. It's called the Enlightenment movement. Enlightenment. Because one day, the crowned heads of Europe sat together, all the rulers of Europe, they sat together and said, from now onwards, we test everything we do against reason. If we are going to do something, that thing must be reasonable. We are no longer going to pander to superstition. We want everything to be science-based, something we can see, reason. That's how you have Europe advancing all over the world. When I talk about Europe, I'm talking about Canada is Europe. Europeans went to Canada and built it. Europeans went to USA and built it. It was Europeans from Portugal and from Spain that went to South America and built the very marvelous Brazil that you're seeing today. The same Europeans went to Australia. They went to New Zealand. They went to South Africa. Anywhere you see them, there is improvement. You can see it. There is running water, there are good roads. The education system is very good. Do you know why? Because of enlightenment. Because they believe in reason. That reason should dominate. That is why we do what we do. That is why we went to your brain, we scattered it. To allow you to be able to pick things that make sense and that are reasonable. So that when you see somebody wearing a mask, you can be bold enough to say, this is not you, you are wearing a mask. Now you understand it. They say they're brainwashing people, but of course they know we are not. They know we are teaching you the truth. They know that what we are propagating is the gospel of truth. They know it very well. A black boy or girl from Africa will graduate from school, look for a job in Facebook or maybe in Twitter, in the zoo called Nigeria, and they give it to them. He will not use it to try to make things better. He wants us to sit there and frustrate those who are preaching the truth. A black boy, not up to 30 years old. That is how wicked we are as a race. Now you understand it. Very wicked race. I remember when I went to court. I was in court and I posted the clip. I was in detention and I was surrounded by people that said that Boko Haram, they are Umbatse, people from Nasarawa, they are this, they are that. You know DSS and I mean this. They just go somewhere. They round up people. Because the amount of money that DSS receives in Abuja is based on how many innocent people they have in the cell. One day, one of them came to me and said to me, why do you always complain that people don't get trial here? Because I was complaining. Even was in detention. Why are you locking up people here? Little children, why? There was a girl that was coming back from Sudan. They picked her up from Abuja airport. She was going to Maiduguri. Even her parents doesn't know that she's in the country. They drove her from the airport into DSS custody. What did she do? Nothing. That they found a book. The book looks a bit radical. Can you believe such nonsense? Inside DSS detention, I was fighting with them. They're asking them to take people to court. Take them to court. It is not your job to judge anybody. It is the duty of the court to decide who is guilty or who is innocent. Ask them, they will tell you. That was where I told them. They asked me, oh, but what do we do? This Biafra you're doing, why don't you do it for the whole of Nigeria? I said, no, but I'll give you one tip. Go and build railways. It was from the advice I gave them that they told Amechi they started building railways all over the place. From me, inside DSS custody. Go and ask them. It's on record. I'll tell them I am a political economist. I know what to do to grow Biafran economy within 6 months. I know what to do. It's in my brain, but I cannot give it to Nigeria because they're useless. Do you know that I was inside my cell? These boys, little boys, they picked up from Niger State. They said they're Boko Haram. Maltreating them. You will stay in one place for 8 months. You don't come. Some for 2 years in one tiny spot. You don't see the sunlight outside. Nothing. I said, no, this is terrible. When I was transferred to Kuje, inside Kuje, I sent people that left the prison outside. I gave them money. I said to them, go to Nasarawa State, go to Niger State, go to Kwara State, go to Kaduna, go to Kano, go to Bauchi. These are the names of the people that I was in prison with. They're accused of being Boko Haram suspects. There is no trial for them. They've not seen outside for the past 4 years for some of them. Look for their parents and bring them to Abuja for me. I paid. I'm saying this because of those that accuse me, oh, he's too selfish. It's always about Igbo Senon and the Biafra, why every time is Biafra. I said to them, you that is claiming that you're a one Nigerian, how many people have you helped outside your tribe before? How many? When I was inside, I brought them to Abuja. I brought them to Abuja. The Victor Yako said I shouldn't speak when I go outside. I was in prison. They said that you're very stubborn. The Dampanzao said you shouldn't give any press statement. They sent some idiots to come and see me inside the prison. I told them to go to hell. Benjamin Madibu was with me. I said, go, come on, go to hell. Who are you people? They said, that's me. When they drag me to court, it is like a president going to court. They drag me to court with armored personnel carriers. Guns everywhere. Siren. When I'm coming to court, you think a president is coming to court. Inside the court of law, I was in handcuffs when I went into the court. I came out before I could climb into their prison van to take me back to Kuje. I gave a press conference, a world press conference there and then. I called the parents of the children being held illegally by DSS. I said, these are the people. Inside there you had Kanuri, a Hausa family was there, Bagi family was there, the other one from Nasser, I've forgotten the tribe was there, Yoruba was there. And I asked them, I was a few days I asked myself, how many people in the whole of Nigeria, be they minister or governor, how many of you has ever done such a thing before for people? They have not. When I was in Kuja, when I left Kuja, they were crying. I used to pay for lawyers to come and give people proper legal representation. A Joffa was working sometimes without pay, morning, noon, and night to get people out. Ask them. They said, when people visit, they said, until they will never see any other person like me come to such a place. But you had Alex Bade, all the big shots that were coming. How many people did they help? But they are Nigerians. I am a Biafran. I came into prison because I'm a Biafran. I was in detention because I'm a Biafran. Yet this Biafran is the only one helping poor Fulani and Hausa people in prison. That tells you who we are. What we are doing is not against anybody. I hate poverty. I hate ignorance. I hate the fact that there are old men and women who cannot feed. I hate the fact that our kids are not going to very good schools. My own children are going to very good schools. And you want me to be happy seeing other people's children suffering, selling banana and oranges. That was not how God made me. That was not the sort of child I was raised to become by my father and my mother. I was raised to fight injustice. And that's what we are doing. And that injustice also includes ignorance. It includes ignorance, and we must fight it. Chukwokika did not send me to do this very work that I may become rich, maybe acquire cars or build mansions, or maybe I'll be basking in some stupid glory. I was sent that the kingdom of heaven may be restored upon the face of the earth, that Biafra may come. That is my one sole purpose. That is why I am indestructible. Indestructible. If you like, you try and see. I broke the cordon in Abakaliki. Therefore, he set up cordon with army and police. They come, they're going to say I will shoot. I said, shoot. I broke their cordon. Had the Nigerian army not been cowards, they would have attacked me when I am outside, not in my house, where I have my father and my mother. But every time I go outside, they never attacked me. They were scared. As the cowards they are, they had to come to my house with my parents in it. I went to Kulobia. Obia said, don't come to Kulobia. I said, you are talking rubbish. I want to eat water. They said, I want to eat water. Oh, before we left, the hold up in eat water in Port Harcourt was 8 hours. They know I am destructively stubborn. If I say I will destroy Nigeria, God in heaven knows. Of course, he sent me. The zoo is gone. I can't leave you. The more you complain, this thing you're doing, the more I do it. The more you complain, this thing you're doing, the more I do it. You don't know who we are. You don't know IPOB. That thing you're asking us not to do is what we are going to do. That was how we shattered Twitter yesterday. Only an order that was given within 2 hours. Twitter itself was even crying that we should take it easy. Do you see how determined we are? Is anybody paying us? These are the same people contributing money to run IPOB for them. Because the finest army in the world is a volunteer army, not the one you conscript, not the one you do by force. Willingly. That is why we are formidable. Exceptionally formidable. Elohim did not send me to this world to have cars, fancy car, fancy house. Oh, can you see my house there? Rubbish. I'm not doing anything with it. The one my father left, I'm only going to sleep in one tiny bed, isn't it? It's more than enough. One tiny bed. Nelson Mandela never had a house. There was no need. His job was to free his people, not to be driving cars or owning properties. Rubbish. Rubbish. We must proceed. Biafra is the last miracle on earth and it's going to happen, and you will see it. They are at a time when things can no longer be the same. In the era of Corona, it has come, and you will see it. I will see. You see it. I warned you. How many weeks ago did I warn you? You are bringing Chinese. You are going to suffer. You are bringing Chinese. You are going to suffer. None of you listened. You say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu, he's making noise. He's making mouth. Has it not happened? And I said to you, when you start to die in Nigeria, when you begin to die, remember my broadcast. I told you, I warned you only 3 weeks ago that the coming of the Chinese is your doom. And surprise, surprise, I'll read it from Daily Trust. I'll read what Daily Trust says here. Over 150 people died in Kano between Friday and Saturday of last week. And they have been buried in 3 cemeteries, heightening fears that they died because of an ailment they don't know. Did I not tell you? When the Chinese come in, you are going to die. And you know, do you know who brought them in? The same people that you are talking, oh, he said, who is the chief of staff? People are now talking about chief of staff as if it's just a campaign. People are going on a campaign. Oh, this is Aisha's list. This is Simon Da's list. Oh, this is the list of King Gibbon. Hi! And I keep asking myself, are you sure these people are human beings? These are the men, because the office is locked. There is no Abakiyari. They need to knock it down. The Chinese are looking for people to experiment with. The Chinese want to take over your resources. They came to run your government the same way that the Russians are helping Assad to run Syria. I told you. Did I not? It's up to 4 weeks. Have you all forgotten what I said here on this radio station? That the Chinese will come. Now they have come. When people begin to die, you know those to hold responsible. Who are the people dying now? The poor people in Kano. Because they have started the experimentation. Many more will die, unfortunately. Many more will die. I'm sorry to say this, because you don't listen. As our brother said, you have ignorance in growing inside your brain cells. You have no conscience. Ignorance everywhere. This is the price of ignorance. When people are ignorant, they go to the toilet with a bucket of water. When people are ignorant, there is no light, they run generator. When people are ignorant, they have no roads. When they drive, they fall into a ditch and they die. When people are ignorant, their graduates don't get any job. When people are ignorant, their children can barely feed. When people are ignorant, when there is a pandemic, they are all abandoned to die. When people are ignorant, the army will kill you. When you're ignorant, the police will kill you. When you're ignorant, a politician will give you 2,000 naira to buy your PVC and your life is gone. When you're ignorant, you look for God. You look up to God for a solution. When the solution is right there in front of you. 150 people dead. What killed them in Kano? They don't know. It's a mystery illness. How can there be a mystery when there is corona? Why can't people be honest? All the grave diggers in Kano now, they're working overtime. And you know the zoo, for them to say 150 people died, you know how many that may have died? And I'm warning people, if you're living in Kano, please do not come to Biafra land. Stay there. You like Ubawasa? Stay there. And don't bring this nonsense to us. Although we have spotted some Chinese in Ebonyi State. We'll get to that later on. One thing, and I told you, when it happens, you know those to hold responsible. Alamajiri children are dying in the north. They are killing them. Saying, oh, we are dispersing them to states. No, they are not. They have brought in the Chinese to use those children as guinea pigs, and they're all going to die. That's what they're doing. Their own children are in Dubai having fun. They're all over the world having fun, driving fast cars, buying power bikes of $400,000. You, the ordinary people that IPOB is trying to save you, you're there defending people who are criminals and have been so for a very long time. That Gideon Oka, Major Oka told you in 1990 that these people, look at the way they are going to slave you. And in your own backyard, as is happening now in parts of Yoruba land, the Fulanis are there sucking them in Ondo State, as Gideon Oka said. As Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching, as IPOB has been preaching ever since. It goes in through one ear, it comes out of the other one. Now who is suffering? Who is suffering, I ask you? When you are born into wickedness, as a child, you went to school, a university, you have no empathy. What is happening to other people doesn't affect you. You have no human feelings. And I keep wondering, what sort of world do you emerge from? You're telling me, and I'm the guy trying to spoil Nigeria for also. How many Nigerians have you helped? I'm telling you what I did from prison. From detention. How many, all of you talk, I'm a Nigerian and Nnamdi Kanu wants to break Nigeria for, how many people have you helped? I'm not asking you to be, perhaps uncomfortable as some other people are. No, even through advocacy is helping. When you come out to revolt, it is helping. When you come out to demonstrate, it is helping. What have you done? Nothing. It has left some people to argue that this revolution we are calling for, this revolution that people of conscience are calling for, may actually start in the north. And they cannot hold it. That is why they don't like radio. They don't like me preaching, not because what I'm saying is a lie, but because they don't want the Alamajiris on the street in the north to be aware of what they are doing. I call it the Niger Delta experience. They tell you, Igbo man is your problem. Igbo man is your problem. You're looking at an Igbo man doing nothing to you. Your own brother, your own fellow Biafran. You answer the same name. You speak the same language, everything. And then they went to Abuja to go and rally for Abacha. And then their eyes opened. They said, all the oil money is here, they're spending it. And from that day, they realized that the reason why they brought divide and rule, Igbo man is your problem, is when there is a problem in a family, you are messed up. You can no longer solve it. It's an internal problem, a very, very difficult one. Ask them in Sudan and they will tell you. They will tell you. They are saying they are moving the Alamajiris out, that they are going to move those kids out of the place. And somebody actually said, which I love very much, you are in the same country, is that correct? Hey, our nation, one Nigeria, indivisible, one Nigeria. And I'm asking you, you have been to America, yes? You've been to all countries of the world, not just the US. In America, how many wives do they marry in America? Everywhere you go to, how many wives? There is a uniform law. If you're living in an Arab country where people are entitled to marry 4 wives, that's entirely up to them, they do. But where I come from, by virtue of Western influence, they said it is 1 man, 1 wife. But in the north, it is 1 man, 4 wives, 5, 6, 7, 8. They give birth to everything. And once you're giving birth to in the north, in Kanu, you answer Kanu, because there's no father, nobody. You answer Kanu. They give birth to you in Funtua, you answer Funtua. They give birth to you in Katsina, you answer Usman Katsina. Because there's no father, Almajiri, everywhere Almajiri. These are the things that Gideon Oka was warning you about. But this time around, those Alamajiris that have been convincing over the years, doing Rankadede, using them to put them in the army and in the police, give them AK-47 to come to the south and be killing people. They are now going to realize that these people have been using them as well. What did those cow-loving illiterate Alamajiri do? They have been making matters worse. People are suffering from coronavirus now in Kano. They want to disperse the children. The Chinese have told them, move these children away from here. They are now carrying all those diseases to all the states of the north. What Bill Gates and the wife said is about to come true. And who are the culprits? Don't blame the Alamajiri children in the north. You're going to blame all those you have in Aso Rock, all of them. They are the ones bringing this death. They are the ones bringing this death in. And I warned you that it will happen. I can see what Facebook is doing. Anytime we try to go over, we try to get to 14,000 people, they cut it. And then they restate it. If you're disconnected, you go back and you log on again. That's what they're doing. All the other systems I'm using are fine, but the particular device I'm using to stream on Facebook, anytime it gets to near 14,000, they cut it. And who is doing that? A Yoruba graduate that went to school and read Karl Marx, read Montesquieu, read Immanuel Kant, all the great philosophers. Maybe, who even knows, maybe read Homer's Iliad, or Tolstoy's War and Peace. All these things, they may have read it. And maybe he was there as doing philosophy 101, being a radical. Look at what they're doing. These are Yoruba people, Yoruba kids. They are graduates. They're in Facebook. All they're doing is to make sure that the truth will not come out. And you want to go back and have electricity? You want to have good roads? So hey, this is our country. Hey, who did you offend though? You offended yourself. Your ignorance offended you. Your wickedness is your offense. Look at what Gideon Oka preached 30 years ago. Is what I'm telling you today. And people are listening as if they have just descended from the moon. The same thing that the reason they gave for the attempted overthrow of Babangida's government. There was an officer that died at Durham Barracks. They wanted to kill Babangida. The man threw himself, I think it was his ADC, threw himself in front of the bullets. That's how Babangida ran away and escaped. They say, you ran away from the army. The Babangida ran from Durham Barracks and continued as a president in Abuja, a military man asking president. Because they don't know history, I don't imagine. They just say, you ran away. And I said them to them, but Prophet Muhammad ran away from Mecca and came back and conquered it. They don't know history. They don't go to school. They is quarter. They come here, let my people go. We have 4 people now from Guangdong local government area of Kano State. We want them to be graduates, so first class, so give them first class, they are law. And their MI will go home and they give them all first class. That is why they write rubbish letter when you employ them. We'll read the letter for the whole world to hear later on. Zoo. Everywhere in zoo, people are dying now. Instead of Nigerian newspapers, instead of Nigerian commentators to say, who brought the Chinese in? 150 people did not die when the Chinese were not there. Before the Chinese came, there was nothing. People were not dying. All of a sudden, now the Chinese are there. People are beginning to die. And you're telling me there's no correlation? It's just a coincidence? Of course it's not. Deliberate mass murder. That's what's happening. Some of you are pretending you don't know. Now the kind is causing trouble for us. So you're waiting for your turn. When it gets to your village, typical black man, full of ignorance and wickedness. I preach it. If you don't like it, you go to them. Even if as you're going, they will call and say, oh, they've taken the light hole. Or you, as you're going, an illiterate Alamajiri wearing a uniform will stop you and start flogging you for no reason. That is the price you're paying for your ignorance. That is the price you're paying for supporting evil. Is it very clear? We must continue. They are spreading COVID-19 now from Alamajiri, from Kano. They have gone there and infected them and are now moving them to all the states around. You hear what happened to the zoo. What is the time now is, what is the time? It's 6 minutes past 8 p.m. in Biafra land. Write it down. Write it down. The only savior will be this vaccine that Britain is fighting to produce within the next 2 weeks. That will be the savior. Or else, 150 dead. That even right now they're digging graves, burying more people. Burying more people. Burying more people. And some of you claim you don't understand what is happening. We are going to evacuate Al-Majri to their states. Is it now in the middle of a pandemic? Instead of you in Kano State to head them together in one place and see what you're going to do with the 4 or 5 wives you marry? No, we are going to send them to their states. How do you know their states? Some are from Chad. Some came from Niger Republic. Some are from Northern Cameroon. How do you know? This is what I keep saying to people who are from the south of the zoo. Why don't you reason? In the south, you have Atlantic Ocean as your neighbor. In the north, there is no neighbor. You come and go as you please. Nobody knows which government they come from. Most of the people holding Nigerian passports are Chadians, people from the Niger Republic and from Cameroon. They all speak one language, Hausa, and that's it. And they think they are doing it to cheat the South. They think that the reason why it is to cheat the South. They don't know they're storing problems for themselves. 150 dead. In Nigerian is was telling you that 150 people died, and you believe it? It's 150. It's over 1,000. You know the way they are. They want to evacuate them to their states of origin, and according to the Gandola himself, the looter, the criminal. All of you saw him on video taking bribe. These are the people fighting corruption. That was what Gideon Oka, God forbid, Gideon Oka, what we were saying 30 years ago. The likes of Kano State Governor, Al-Majri Governor. Has it done to all of you now? And your eyes now open now. Have you seen it? That this message we are preaching did not start today. Other people who are not Biafrans, other people who are not Igbo, other people who did not fight the war for Biafra, other people who have seen himself, he was a major in the army, and he said, we better divide this country. Now you understand it? The only difference between myself and Gideon Oka is that his boundary is up a bit north, more than mine. And those people that he said should be removed, they are the ones that went Sharia later on. Obasanjo gave them Sharia. Obasanjo gave them Sharia. But when you want to ask for, when you agitate for freedom, they say no. But when Al-Majri in the north, when Janjaweed agitated for Sharia, you gave it to them. Because Obasanjo is scared. They control the army. You think they're stupid? They control the army. They control the police. If you like, they shoot you. And that's without being end of you. You go to Amnesty, they will write one report, and then you go to Britain, Britain will tell you that worse things happen all over the world. That is just life. Do you see the mess you're in? Do you see the mess we are trying to dig you out of? Both physically and mentally. And imagine, you did not despise them before the Chinese. Now the Chinese came. China told them, despite with the disease, go in and multiply. And it is going to multiply in the zoo. And they're in a hurry now. Because the vaccine is going to come out very soon. They're in a hurry to kill as many as possible. And these are what you call your leaders. Elder statesmen. These are the idiots that brought Chinese discriminating against black people inside China, killing black people inside China, humiliating Africans in China. You went and you brought them. And you're saying you're a leader. And you are clapping for them. You are clapping for them. Hey, tell me why God will not punish you. Just tell me why you should have electricity. Tell me why you have a good road. Every day you lament, every day, hey, who did this to us? Oh, you did it to yourself. We are showing you the way out for everybody. For everybody. If you don't know, let me tell you. Let Jubril come out now. He cannot come out. He's trapped in Cuba. To divert attention, I'm writing rubbish yesterday. Yeah. Because we slaughtered them on Twitter. Only one command. Only one command. This zoo we are crying. And today they did arrange. Go and ask any governor in your state today. They are holding a meeting. They held a meeting with Jubril. Not face to face, but by the phone. Via teleconference. Do you know why? They don't want them to come to Abuja. After people have been going to Abuja, they don't receive the EU delegation in Abuja. How come the governors cannot go to Abuja? They cannot go to Abuja because the clown there is not Jubril. Jubril is trapped. The one that can speak passable English is trapped in Cuba. They think we're stupid. But we know. Ask your local governor now. Call your governor and ask him. Did you have a meeting today with Mr. President? He will tell you yes. Did you go to Abuja for the meeting? He will tell you no. How did you hold the meeting? It was teleconference. They wired the call to Cuba, to Havana, Cuba, because the idiot is still trapped there. They put it, I told you that the thing in Aso Rock cannot speak. He is taking photos inside Aso Rock, yes, and video. Then do broadcast from Aso Rock then. Do broadcast from your office in Aso Rock, let's see. He cannot. And none of you say, President Buhari, choose your chief of staff wisely. All these commentators you have, most of them Yoruba, they know the truth. But out of a combination of fear, they cannot stand up and say, Mr. President, how come you have hole in your neck? What is the hole doing in your neck? Answer us. When you ask them, what is the hole doing in the neck? They say, leave it for us like that. Somebody that claims he or she has a PhD, you're a doctorate in something, and somebody is wearing a mask with a hole in the neck, visible to the whole world, that they called them yesterday and asked them, what is that hole doing there? Today they call the governors. Oh, don't listen to them, they can. Those boys that ask, I said, if you doubt me, call your governor now. Leave this program, call your governor and ask your governor. Did you have a meeting today or not? With who? Did you go to Abuja? They say, oh no, it's coronavirus. We don't want to go to Abuja. But they claim the EU went to Abuja. EU went to Aso Rock. So if EU can go to Aso Rock, why can't you go to Aso Rock? To tell you categorically that the dummy they put there is just somebody wearing a rubber mask, a face like Buhari. That's all. All he does is to wave. And you are in one Nigeria. The same thing that Oka said. You see that God we serve is miraculous. The same way God gave humanity Donald Trump is when Donald Trump leaves office that the world will appreciate him. The same way that God in heaven gave humanity Donald Trump. As one prophet said, he said it is to delay. To see if mankind will change their ways. It's just a delay, but he cannot stop the clock. Do you know why he cannot stop the clock? Because when Obama made his prediction, listen carefully, when Obama made his prediction in 2015, Obama said, in 5 to 10 years' time, you know what it meant was, either if a Democrat had Hillary Clinton won, they would have achieved their aim without the need for coronavirus, no? Then he said, had Hillary Clinton won, it would have been in 10 years. He said 5 or 10 years. So they were waiting for any Republican to come in. Once a Republican comes in, they will strike. That was why he said 5 to 10 years. Because in America, 2 terms is for 4 years each. Isn't it? Now you understand. You people don't know what Trump has done for you. You have no idea. You have no clue. You think he doesn't know what he's doing. He's foolish. He's not articulate enough. Rubbish. Look at World Health Organization that is articulate. I will expose them later on. So you will know. Everything I tell you is the truth. Because believe you me, it doesn't matter if you're a Biafran, if you're from Oduduwa, if you're from the Middle Belt or from the North. Even Alamaji, I love you more than those people claiming one Nigeria do. If you're in trouble, if I have the means to help, I will help. That is what, but they can never help you. They can never. Not in a trillion years, they will never help you. That is the Biafra we are building. A Biafra where people will have empathy and compassion to understand that what affects somebody else's child could also affect your own child. That's what we are building. Not the zoo. Somebody went out consciously. Went out. All your microbiology professors, they could not develop a vaccine. All the this, you see them on channels. This coronavirus is a pathogen. It's traveling. It's traveling, you know. But you're a professor of microbiology, why are you not in your lab coat trying to give us a vaccine? All those years you claim you went to school and prophesying as a professor, what did you achieve? Everything is on a piece of paper. Everything is theory, no practicals, nothing. What kind of talk when you want to go? Other people looking for this vaccine, they're not professors, ordinary people. But you answering bogus professor of microbiology, Obafemi Awolowo, can you please show us the efforts you're making to produce a vaccine? At least you're a professor. And what is happening now is the virus is moving. The government need to listen to us. The way the virus moves. Hey, I'm not asking about how the virus is moving. I'm asking you as a professor of microbiology, a prof. You want to be called prof. We call you prof. Prof, what are you doing about finding us a treatment or vaccine for this very dangerous microbe? You read microbiology. He's waiting for 2023 as a dawn to rig election. And that is the country you want to belong to. A country where you have no president, where your vice president is not I've been begging my Yoruba brothers, where is your own flesh and blood, Yemi Osinbajo? Of course, I don't want anybody to die. But I couldn't help today but feel somehow, I wouldn't call it, I don't know what to call it. I felt that El-Rufai deserved a little bit of, he doesn't deserve anything. He's an evil man. Let me not even go there. But the way he did it, he had a bit of class. I am not well. I followed the regime. Now I'm better. Is that going to stop him from being the governor of Kaduna State? I'm asking all these idiots in Aso Rock hiding Osinbajo and the Femi Adesina. Why are you hiding them? There's somebody, Boris Johnson was sick and he said, I am sick. Now I have, because once you announce it, that was what killed Buhari. That was what killed Abba Kyari. Once you do all these things inside the house, you don't let people know. Nobody can pray for you. Boris Johnson said, I'm sick. Everybody wants to pray. Everybody, because he's a nice man. Not minding, he's a British Prime Minister. He's a nice man. Hard-working, nice man. People want you to pray for him. Goodwill. Ordinary midget like El-Rufai, midget, another carbon copy of Satan. As small as he is. That is how his evil is 10 times his height. He came out and said, I am sick. And his fellow Al-Majri Janjaweed, they started praying for him. Today he's better. But all of you are hiding. If Osinbajo is sick, you tell us he is sick. This is why, because I know what they've done to him. They are killing off everybody that knows about Jubril. And they cannot hold it. For 3 more years, it's impossible. We are here. IPOB is here. Nnamdi Kanu is here. Let coronavirus finish. Then everything is over. That right now, we are feeding the whole world with the information they need. Every head of state now is aware that the face they are saying of Buhari is actually a mask. Now they're even running from their own governors. Now they cannot be the governors anymore. As I told you, that if you're in Aso Rock, why can't you call? After all, the governor of Borno State went to see you. That's what we are told. That he met the governor of Borno State. So why couldn't you meet the other governors then? You met the EU, a delegation. Why can't you meet the governors? Because that thing there is not, it's for Photoshop. Waving and smiling. Now we're holding them in a bad place. I did help Joe, and they know it. And they're crying. If you listen to Radio Biafra and you don't learn anything, then you know you're a Tibori, but you're destined not to learn anything in your life. Because here we break it down. Can you believe that grandmothers, 90 years old, they are listening right now in Biafra land? How they understand the type of grammar we are speaking, I don't know, but they understand. And they even interpret for their grandchildren what is being said. Because truth, like music, is a universal language. We hear the truth, Everybody is going to pay the price that Gideon Oka spoke about. Everybody is going to pay the price that I warned you about 3 weeks ago. This Fulani misrule, this thing that these Janjaweed are doing in collaboration with Channels TV, in collaboration with Punch Newspaper, in collaboration with Yoruba Media. All of you are going to pay a very heavy price. As I warned you, if the Chinese come, you will die. Are you not dying now? All over the place? In Kano at least? This supporting of evil of Yoruba Media. You know, people, they love to misunderstand me. I say Yoruba Media, I did not say Yoruba Nation. I did not say Yoruba people. I said some of them. Some, and I will continue on this line of attack until they repent. Some of them are evil. Evil. They are the ones supporting this edifice of criminality. A country without a president. A country without a vice president. Hey! That even ordinary... Hey, I'm coming to that later on. Let me just hold up and get there. All those people that call themselves done. Everybody holding a degree in political science. From this night, go to where your degree is, bring it and burn it. I'm sorry to say, it doesn't matter if you're a Biafran, if you're from any... Go and bring it and burn it, because the idiots that taught you when you're university, they are useless. You didn't learn anything. You learned anything. My own rudimentary knowledge of government I got from a secondary school. Is better than we can't compete. And I will tell you why. If your child is studying political science, withdraw them from Nigerian University, because they're a very useless place. You are going to make them more foolish than they are, as long as Al-Majri is in power. Ordinary chief of staff position. It's something that they're voting for. It's not election. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And as I warned you before, how old is Abba Kyari? They said he's 67. I want that very picture to be posted actually. They said he's 67. And how old is Buhari? 77, they claim. Of course, it's a lie. He's 77. Hey, unbelievable. 77. And everybody got coronavirus, but not him. And you're telling me that Buhari is alive. Buhari had a major brain surgery. The man was a vegetable. He was incoherent. Didn't know if he was going or coming. That man that was a skeleton is now 40 years younger. That man that walked hand in hand with Abba Kyari, they sit together in the same meeting, did not catch coronavirus, no. But Abba Kyari has it. The rest of the cabal, they have it. El Rufai had it as well. Buratai has coronavirus. He's treating himself. He has it. He's now in Niger. He might enter Niger Republic yesterday. He's there now, receiving treatment. He fled to the place by road. Sending Air Force to throw bomb from the air when he's running on the ground, running to Niger Republic. I'm lying to all of you. Somebody who is 77 years old, with a history of medical condition, brain tumor, did not get corona. It is somebody who is 67 that got it. And El Rufai, I don't know how old he is. That midget, I don't know how old he is. And you're telling me you're reasonable. You're telling me you have brain and you can think. You're intelligent, yes? Intelligent. Hey, Zualamni, unbelievable. That is something called the laws of deduction. Everybody in Abba Kyari's office has tested positive for coronavirus, but not, you claim Buhari is there, but not Buhari. He's sick. And he doesn't wear a mask when he comes out. Hey, zoo. You're not zoo for nothing. Nigerians, I'm telling you, you are not zoo animals for nothing. Even animals can do better than this. Animals in a cage can do better. They have better reasoning than this. A president is 77 years old, you claim. has history of medical condition, had a brain tumor, by his own confession with his own mouth. Somebody who is 67 caught it, his closest friend, the person that sees him more than Aisha does, and he didn't get it. And the staff of this very man, Abba Kyari, his staff, they all have tested positive for it. Young men and women. A 77-year-old man on medication, on life support more or less, did not get it. Nigerians, you people, God should just come and wipe out the whole place. You people are useless beyond belief. Useless to the core. More than useless. Nigerians are hopeless everywhere. It has been confirmed by what they call presidential source. This is Janjaweed newspaper. It's from the north. That all persons, everybody that met Abba Kyari is in trouble. It is here. And you're telling me it's a 77. Baba go slow. Baba is going slow. Zoo. Zoo. Unbelievable. Nigeria is a joke, honestly speaking. A very big joke. And the people are suffering. They went and brought in the Chinese to take care of their government for them. So America cannot tell them what to do. And maybe Ahmed or whoever. You know, there's a tussle. Today they announce it's King Gibe. Tomorrow they announce it's Ahmed. The other one they want to Marwa. You understand what is happening now, don't you? They cannot decide. But they have one thing in common. They don't want the world to know through their squabbling that there is nobody there. That's why it seems as if there is some form of a ceasefire, an agreement. Whoever you put there as the chief of staff is now going to be the de facto president because you don't have a president. Nigerians, you do not have a president. I'm Nnamdi Kanu from Isama Faruku Kanam Asuibo. Asu Yofuma. Asu Beke Asu Yofuma. So you know it's me talking. Ask that thing in Aso Rock. Your claim is Buhari to stand up. And remember one village in Katsina. One village only. He cannot. You are all busy deceiving yourselves. And that was what the Chinese saw and said, these are idiots. Let's go and take everything from them. These are idiots. I went to school. I studied at Toronto. I went to Harvard. I was at Harvard. If this is how people that went to Harvard behave, my children will not go to Harvard. I'm telling you the truth. It's a complete disgrace. Nigerians and that useless country, Nigeria, is an abomination before man and before God. The way they reason is sickening. Sickening is sickens. I'm telling you. You are in the middle of a pandemic. You're telling me in any country of this world, 150 people will die in one day, and the president will not speak? Are you people well? All of you that call yourself Nigerians, are you sure your brains are correct? You have a president in a country, 150 people were dead in one day, and no statement, no speech, no nothing. Hey, people should take it easy now. This level of stupidity is astonishing. And meanwhile, people are asking, why did Trump defund World Health Organization? You know, some of our people, they don't read between the lines, but here we do. That's one good thing about IPOB and Radio. We read between the lines, forget about the headline. We go underneath. It's just like people who are lazy, like Alamajiri. And those 10K Irans, you know, even in the money they pay the Irans, they discriminate. If you're from the north, if you're an Iran, for Loreto Noche, you get 10K, 10,000 naira a week. If you're from the east, you get 3,000 naira a week. Go and join them if you want. It's free. They're paying, they're sharing money. It's like trader money, they're sharing it. For Irans, you go and buy for $100 techno phone, and you open Facebook account in a fake name, and you start talking rubbish about Biafra. These are the criminals running the zoo. They went to China to go and bring Chinese to come and kill people. And now the result is there. Will you talk about it? The answer is no. Because you have no human empathy. You don't feel for other people. Until it affects you. Then you know how painful it is. Then start calling God and ask people to help you. But when others were in distress, you did not do anything. You did not flinch. Coronavirus is of animal origin, according to World Health Organization. They said it's not from the lab. I think you've heard it. From water. Now listen to what this man opened. A scientist. Listen to what he has to say. He's an African man from Ethiopia or Eritrea. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know why we keep discussing ourselves all over the world every time. African people. I don't know. I have no idea. Of course, Kofi Annan served with distinction. And to an extent, I'm not giving credit. Emeka Nyoku did very well with the Commonwealth. He did very well, to be honest with you. He was a very astute diplomat. He did very well. Kofi Annan did well at the UN. But where did they get this man from? Where did he come from? Hey, you know what he said? When they asked him, how do you know it did not come from the lab? Listen to his answer. World Health Organization. Listen to the answer. It is probable, likely, this is a direct quote of this man, Fadela Chaib, not Gabriel Watt, not that one. This is Chaib. Or is it Gabriel Selassie? I don't know what they call that one. It is probable, likely, that the virus is of animal origin. So the headline is rubbish. This is why it's always good to read beyond the headline. The man said it is probable, likely that the virus is of animal origin. A scientist cannot tell it is probable until you are sure you do not know. All you can say is that we are investigating it. They don't know that we are Biafrans, we are very intelligent people. We are not daft, we are very intelligent. A scientist telling you it is probable, likely. That is not scientific speak. That's not how science speaks. It speaks in absolute terms. We've tried this, it is this, or it is that. They are trying to defend China. He's only a fool who doesn't forget about all that thing that Facebook is doing. What's his name? That boy. What's his name? He wants to play God like Bill Gates and the Rothschild. He wants to play God. Zuckerberg. He wants to play God as well. He's defending China. If you ask something about that this very virus came from a lab, they block it or they censor it. They say it's fake news. But they've asked World Health Organization, it is probable, it is likely. So they're not even sure that it didn't come from the lab. But the headline says, coronavirus is of animal origin, which is a lie. This is the type of journalism that is wrecking humanity. I call it Yoruba journalism. Journalism of the gutter. That was why we chose them, that girl yesterday. What's the Fire? I want to give her free publicity. Fire, whatever her stupid name is. We tweeted her a picture of Jubril with a face mask and a hole in the neck. And we asked her, is this Buhari? She has not replied. Yoruba journalist. I'm saying it so that the Yorubas can change. I don't hate anybody. Change from your evil, wicked ways. Serving Fulani will destroy you. Yoruba, change from your evil, wicked ways. Serving Fulani will destroy you. It will destroy your race. You tried it in Ilorin, you lost Ilorin. Why can't you learn from history, Yoruba? Why can you not learn? Abiola served them. They killed him. Why can't you learn from history? Awolowo served them. He was disappointed. As they say, they took poison. Why don't you learn from history? Why don't you ever learn? Why do you think we chased away all the Fulefus in our land? We chased them away. Because they're useless. If we allow them, we'll be destroyed. Let us cope with the governors until their time is up. And then our land will be completely free. China is responsible for coronavirus. And now they're testing, they're using an emergency in the north to do testing and people are dying. And you cannot complain because they're not your children. People are dying in the north because it is not the children of the owner of Channels TV. That is why there is no interrogation. Anywhere in the world, they ask questions. Who brought brought them in for what? What killed these children in Kano? All of you, there is no empathy because you're black and you're wicked. Your heart is full of wickedness. And you ask me, why do I want to be Biafra? Why would I live with evil people like you? All people are evil. Children are dying in Kano. Children, little children. They may grow up to be terrorists tomorrow. That is their business. But they are little children on the streets and they are dying. And nobody's asking questions. It is that same people, that same man from Biafra that has no business with children in Kano that is talking about them. And you're a Nigerian. You're a proud Nigerian. Stupid set of idiots all over the place. This behavior of going to bring the Chinese, this behavior of wanting to people that hate us to bring them to solve our problem is the reason why black people we are enslaved, is the reason we are the architect of all misfortune. That Africa is poor is because of Africans. The way we reason is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Black people must change. Those who are in the zoo called Nigeria, you must change and reason. That is the only way you can accomplish anything in your life. The whole of Africa was conquered by only 2,000 Europeans. Only 2,000. Overwhelmed 20 million people. Why? Because when they come in and they want to enslave you, they go to one village, they convince that village will help them to enslave other people. Some of you don't know this. That when Lugard came to West Africa, he first stopped in Ghana. You don't know this. He formed an army called the West Africa Frontier Force. This army was essentially staffed by Ghanaians. They trained them and they staffed them. They used them to go and conquer other African people. Black. And tomorrow one idiot will come out and tell me, let Africa unite. Hey! Lugard came. There were about 29 of them that came, the senior officers, on the ship that he came with. They stopped in Ghana. Recruited Ghanaians to help them expand their territory in West Africa. That is the mindset of African people. And I will tell you where this thing ties in, and you must listen very carefully, please. Very, very carefully. Black people, because of our inferiority complex, anything a white man does is good. Anything blacks do is bad. Some of you are defending Nigeria, not because Nigeria, is worthy of any defense. You are defending Nigeria because it was created by a white man. That is all. You're telling me that a white man can come from Europe, come into your village, and destroy your culture, your way of life, your identity, they strip it bare. Call you Nigerians. You are great. And he left. And because of that, that is why 150 children died in Kano. Our stupidity. Now, because Ojukwu is a black man like you, and I know him now. We used to drink at the Koi Club together. I know him now. When he wanted to have his own nation, he said no, because he's not a white man. And funny enough, it is so bizarre. For you to be free in Africa, you need the permission and the consent of white people. And you're telling me you're equal to them? You're telling me you're equal to a white man? Of course you're not. You're a baboon. You're nothing. I'm not telling you this so you can cry. You can log off and start crying. No. I'm telling you this so you can be strong. Realize your mistakes and be strong. That what Gideon Oka was saying is true. Let us be on our own. Gideon Oka removed the Janjaweed of the north, the Sharia states of the north. Do you know why he removed them? Because in the south, people can reason together. Reason can prevail. And unless a nation decides to reason, you can never, ever be developed. Understand it very well. Only 2,000 Europeans conquered the whole of Africa. And some of you don't even know that our name wasn't even Africa. And it's a lecture for another day. You see that our name Biafra? Why people don't know this? You see Biafra? Some of you guys say it's from Portugal. It's older than Portugal. Afar region, Afar, AFAR, that underpins this very name that Afrikaners adopted, that you find in Ethiopia, and is a very simple assignment. The name of Africa, this continent that you see called Africa, its proper name is Ethiopia, if you don't know. Biafrans, some migrated, them House of Manasseh, the last set that came, the House of Manasseh, they came via Ethiopia from the same Afar region. So when I tell you we're ancient people, what I'm talking about, go and do your research. After going around in circles, you come down to what I tell you that is the truth. Do you know that? Africa, that's not the name. The name is Ethiopia. Because the Europeans did not want you to have any connection to your land. And of course, the new version that they brought out and said is, they incorporated the Afar name, AFAR, from where Biafra was derived. Because it gave me a lot of joy. When I tell you we're ancient people, I know what I'm talking about. If you have any contrary view or opinion, let me know. You let me know. Let me know. Look at the people that brought in the Chinese. That is a news item. You have seen it. You know what I find very bizarre is that white people in Western Europe are more concerned about racism, the Chinese racism against black people than black people in Nigeria. I don't get it. White people are more concerned about the treatment that blacks are getting in China more than black people in Nigeria. And that was where you went to and brought people and claimed that they are doctors, that's what I meant. I want you to listen to this, please. What the Chinese are doing to you. And then you brought them in, and now people are dying in Kano. And who brought them in? Abakiari's gang. They were, hey, he's a Kingiba is a nice man. Inshallah, he'll be chief of staff. Can you believe such rubbish? These are the idiots that brought in the Chinese that are not killing you. And these are Chinese that are calling you all sorts of names. If I call you the same name, you start crying and complaining. Because I'm not Chinese. I'm not Chinese, am I? I'm not white. Let's try and see if you can listen to what I'm saying.
Are distancing the government from a commercial that's been widely condemned as racist. The ad for laundry detergent shows an African man's black color being washed off.
In China.
His foreign ministry says the commercial has not affected relations with African governments.
How can it affect it?
CCTV's Rowie Ruttenberg reports.
Are you listening? They did a commercial detergent like Omo or elephant blue detergent in those days. If you're old enough, as I am. If you use that detergent to wash your clothes in China, it will be as white as new. If you use that soap to wash a black person, they'll become white. Pure racist commercial. And you know what the Chinese government said? They are not even admonishing the company for doing it. They said, no, don't worry. This doesn't matter. We still have good relations with Africa. And the same people who are responsible for this, you call them leaders. That is what I don't understand about black people. The same people now in Asorok, responsible for bringing these races in. You call them leaders. You call them our leaders. And I'm asking you, are you sure you're well? Are you sure your brain is okay? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Our stupidity is too much now. Hey, come on. Let's be fair. Our ignorance is just astonishing. It shouldn't continue. Should not continue. And it cannot continue. It cannot continue. Honestly speaking. Throughout history, we African people, we have always been the architect of all misfortune. People say, but tell us the way forward. That's what we're telling you. Freedom is the way forward. Freedom for everybody, including Alamajiri. Freedom for everybody. Revolution is the way forward. There's no other way. How can it solve this problem? They asked Funtua. He said it's an insult to ask me to become the chief of staff because he stole money when he was in MPN with Fujro to fund his own. Basically, his construction firm is Fujro. You know how much they stole? Ibrahim Tahir, Malediko. These are Fulani men, they stole billions. That idiots fighting corruption. And you believe them. That's how sad your lives are. Very, very sad indeed. And the Chinese, they have come to Anambra. They have come to Biafra land. They were shouting Indomie. Very dangerous Indomie. I have the clip and I want it to be played. It's an Igbo language, so I will not bother international audience with it. You can see the video very clearly. Very, very clearly. They came, said there is no Indomie in it. It is to contaminate and to poison. They have seen the foolishness of a black man. They have come in to kill off everybody because we are daft. They disgrace you, they hunt, they beat you to death on the streets. You went there and still say, come. Why? Because instead of these criminals, these Fulani criminals to stand up and say, Buhari is no more, let Osibajo take over. Even the Yorubas, they even move and say, Osibajo should be the president of Nigeria now. Out of fear and cowardice. Fear and cowardice. What Dora Akunyili did. Of course, she paid with her life, but that is what comes with public service. They succeeded in killing me when they come to my house. I won't be here today. That is what I have chosen to do. Public service. And I asked them, I asked all of you this, Yoruba, why are you not asking about James? Why are you not asking after him? Why? You are afraid of Fulani? What they will do to you? You are scared. Sorry. You are scared. You are scared. When it comes to IPOB and Biafra, you have strength. And that is what defeat does to people's psyche. You know the defeat and the seizure of the Lauren damaged Yoruba psyche. It damaged the Yoruba self-confidence and psyche. It's not something it's not about grammar and shouting. It's pretense. You can't do anything. They're holding you hostage. You can't do nothing. Then Osibajo is missing. Nobody wants to ask after him. He is supposed to be the president. And they're holding him just like a coup. They're holding him until he agrees to whoever is the chief of staff to be loyal. And in the process, I hope he recovers from coronavirus as well. They want to kill him off. Kill him and flame additional. They don't trust them. That is the truth. That is the truth. It was African it was Romans that named us Africa. The same way the British came and named you Nigeria. The same way today the Chinese came and they're experimenting with you. Inferiority complex. Inferiority complex. I tell you the truth, you will not like it, but eventually when you go back home, you sleep on it, you think about it, tomorrow morning you will tell me that you're right. You're saying, I don't hate you. I am simply telling you the truth, the way it is, that you may be able to change. That you may be able to change, because Aso Rock is empty. There is nobody there. There is nobody there, and it's about time we will continue to ask this very question. IPOB will keep on tweeting. We will continue to ask this question until everybody in fact, maybe that's why they're treating us very badly in China anyway. They are treating us badly because they know that the people don't reason very well. I said they will start spitting in, even if you spit in their face abroad, they will still not even make the connection. They can't make the connection. Unbelievable. Osibajo is under hostage. They're holding him, and Yoruba cannot talk. He's to come out and be telling me who should be the chief of staff. It's up to Buhari. Which Yoruba media, which Buhari? Is it the Buhari with a hole in his neck? Can't you answer a simple question? You ask me a question and I answer. Why is it that when I ask people a question, you cannot answer? Which Buhari is in Aso Rock? I'm asking Yoruba media. It is a prerogative to choose. Is it the one with the hole in the neck? And to Alimajiri, I'm asking you, that hole in the neck, what is it for? He breathes with it, or he eats with it, or what? Or when he meets Aisha in Saul's room, what does he do with the hole in his neck? Oh dear me. Legendary Zoological Republic. I have never seen a collection of more idiotic people anywhere on earth. And the ones that they claim they know. If you see them, they are so loud and useless. They claim they know nothing. They are cowards. They can't do nothing. Nothing. They can't do nothing. It's only to be on social media yapping rubbish, as always, talking absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Where is Nigeria's president? You claim you're in Aso Rock. How come 150 people are dead in Kali you did not speak? How come you cannot allow your governors to come to see you? How come you don't come outside? Journalists cannot go in. You cannot come outside and you're president. Where in this world does that rubbish happen? Under democracy. Where, I'm asking you? You claim you're Nigerians. Where? Give me an example. Because Fulani, no wonder they started with this Miyet Yana, these terror groups, bandits, to spread fear. There is fear everywhere. And unfortunately, those that hold the media, after Yoruba media relocate to Ghana, maybe to the Republic, I'm writing from there. Your cowardice, it stinks. People are cowards. I hate cowards. So I didn't see me in the law court. Yeah, I was in a court of law inside Abuja and I called Buhari a madman. You didn't see it? Sometimes you pretend you don't see all those, you don't see them. He's a coward. What I did in Abuja, your entire lineage cannot do it for them. Even if they live to be 1 billion years, they cannot do it. I called Buhari when he was alive. The old dictator, I called him a madman. Inside court number 4 in Abuja. High court number 4. Being presided over by Binta Nyako. I called him a madman that they cannot jail me. I told them, you are not educated enough to jail me. When I told them I'm going back to Abuja with 2 million men, they came to kill me. Because I told the whole world that thing there is not Buhari. I know the second that Buhari died. And we killed him. I know the second he died. Mad people everywhere. Zoo animals everywhere. From top to bottom. Here we cure your disease. Your mental illness, we cure it here. We let the whole world know how daft you people are. Your mental illness, we cure it. They say, but he insults people. He insults people. Why won't I insult you? You're foolish. You went to China, you brought Chinese people. They are now killing you in Kano. And you're saying I'm insulting you. So those killing you are better than those insulting you. This is how foolish they are. This is how foolish they are. Very mad people everywhere. Very mad people everywhere. Look at it. In your country, the chief of staff is now the office of the president. They are holding their meetings every blessed day. You don't see the vice president. Where is he? Where is the vice president of Nigeria? Where is he? Who is Boss Mustafa? Ordinary secretary to government is the one making policy pronouncements. Hey! Oh my goodness. Zoo. Their professors are busy rigging illiterates into power. These same professors today, professors of political science, today they are quiet as this bunch of wild animals from Quranic schools in the Mohammedan Emirates of the North are let loose on what type of system of government are they running? I have no clue. What are you what system of government are you running? Government by a chief of staff. A government by chief of staff. Is that what you're running? No president, no vice president, government by chief of staff. You're telling me that somebody comes in now, you're hustling. All Jubril does is to the act of Jubril is in Cuba. Maybe it's even. Are you sure it's not the Femi Adesina that's wearing the mask? Maybe it's him, or maybe it's Femi Adesina that's wearing that. I think it's him. I need to check the height and everything. Well, I'm asking our M branch to try and find out. Is it Femi Adesina that is wearing that mask? Maybe it's him. I think it's him now. Because if you come on duty, they give it to you, you can wear it. and take pictures. You people don't know what is happening in Abuja, do you? You have no clue. You have no idea. I feel sorry for you people. I feel sorry for you. When Lugard came, he called it the Mohammedan Emirates of the North. Their name was not Northern Nigeria, not Arewa. Mohammedan Emirates of the North. Very dumb people. Can you imagine Boss Mustafa, ordinary cabinet secretary? His job is to take minutes during meeting. He is now in front of Channels TV making political making policy statements. He ordinary cabinet secretary. Hey, oh my goodness me. My goodness me. Do you see why I call Nigerians animals? Do you see that those monkeys in a gown you call dumb and professors, do you see how foolish they are? Have you seen how useless they have made your lives? You call them dumb. Have you seen how foolish they have rendered your lives? You are a Don. University of Abuja, they have political science. They have professors there. Dear professor, are you telling me that ordinary secretary to a cabinet can come out and begin telling their country about government policy? Are you telling me that? Oh dear. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Where on earth in any democracy did you hear that a lowly, non-elected, non-constitutionally recognized position as that of a government scribe, somebody who writes, is brought out in front of the people as the spokesperson of the government? Not to talk of making policy pronouncements unbelievable. What does this tell you? That there is nobody in Aso Rock. It tells you there is nobody inside Aso Rock. It is empty. There is no Buhari. He is in Saudi Arabia in a shallow grave. As shallow as the one they threw somebody in and claimed it was Abba Kyari. Instead of Yoruba media to investigate, they are busy propagating evil. Let us look at some of your intellectuals, because they are part of the problem of the zoo. You're so-called done. If you have any paper saying graduate of political, go and burn it tonight. Go and rip it up. Because before you become as foolish as that certificate. Let me tell you what is happening in the zoo. I want to examine the academic dons, the so-called intellectuals, and heaven knows what title they have. We must ask them tonight, are you the people that taught all this Alamajiri and your fellow Nigerians how to reason upside down? Are you responsible for it? Lecturers. Maybe it's sex for grade, isn't it? Are you the people that propagated the notion that a chief of staff is as powerful, is a powerful position? Who told you that? From where? Which textbook? Which government? Where on earth a chief of staff is powerful? Who told you? From where? Until today, nobody has told me who the chief of staff to Obasanjo is. If they're powerful, why don't we know them? But we know some ministers from that era. If they are powerful, how come somebody hasn't come out to say, I'm an elder statesman, I was chief of staff to Shagari? Do you know the secretary to the government under Shagari? Do you know were they powerful? Because if they're powerful, we would have known. We have about Second Republic minister, Second Republic lawmaker. Have you ever heard of Second Republic chief of staff to the president? That is to tell you it is an insignificant position. Insignificant. It doesn't have any weight. But they are the ones going to Germany to go and negotiate, to bring lights to you. They're the ones that went to negotiate with Siemens. And I'm asking them, are you the Power and Mines Minister? The answer is no. What are you doing there? And why is the EU, condoling with you, with your family when you're dead? Because you give them money, you bribe them very well. You know how to sort them out. And that is what you're telling me you have certificate, political science in this zoo. And in fact, if you read political science in this zoo, if I meet you anywhere, never ever mention it to me, please. Because I won't talk to you. Go and do another degree. You're political scientist about lunatics everywhere. Everywhere. You have turned reason upside down. Turn the people into zombies. Telling me you're a dumb, you're a professor of political science, like professor of microbiology. Dumb fools everywhere. Dumb fools everywhere. What Boss Mustafa is doing right now, until they appoint a substantive chief of staff, is the job of Osibanjo. He should be the one leading. We should be seeing the face of Osibanjo every blessed day in the absence of Buhari and the jubilee that is marooned in Cuba. Where is Osibanjo? I would ask. Yorubas must rise. I know they will not, but I'm just saying it. Yorubas must rise up. I heard some of them saying that they fought Abacha. It was the last of Abakoba. The man who actually fought Abacha was a Kweme, for your information. He formed the G32, from which PDP emerged. It was a Kweme that fought Abacha to a standstill. Soyinka was abroad, fled abroad. Tinubu, you're looking at, ran away from the zoo. For your information, they bamboozle you with Yoruba media. They turn the story upside down. All of you were listening when I said that Abba Kyari was brain dead and on a life support machine that will be turned off at any moment. You heard me when I said it live on air. When some idiots from somewhere started treating their rubbish and they said they've broken it. Fools. That's what Yoruba media does with your brain. Tell you we fought in Nadeko. It was a Kweme that defeated Abacha. He formed the... Go and ask you, go and do your research. That's how they convince you to go to Yoruba churches. Abandon. That even some Biafrans are going to a church pastored by somebody called Suleiman. And your name is Nwachuku, the Son of God in heaven. And you're going to a church pastored by somebody called Suleiman. I feel sorry for you. Because I don't know who you are. It's all that game that they're playing with their media. What Fulani have done to you in the arena of politics, the Yoruba media have completed with their shambolic media. Their gutter, Lagos about expressway media. Yoruba, if you want to show that you're a nation, fight for Duduwa. Ask for where your son is. That is the least you can do. That is the least you can do. That's the least you can do. Fight for him. Even though we don't like what Joseph Carlo very much because of what he did. And we're not fighting for him. Because if you're saying you want to jail people who are corrupt, jail everybody. In front of our eyes, in front of our eyes, 13.9 billion naira meant for Asoro Clinic disappeared. In front of it. They call it Kuro Eye. Somebody, I know white people are listening. They'll say, what is Kuro? Somebody should explain to them, please. In front of our eyes, 13.9 billion disappeared. 13.9 billion. Who was in charge? Abba Kyari. And some people are writing that Abba Kyari was a good man. Hey! 13.9 billion. And Lodges Okalo is in prison and you want me to keep quiet? You want You want me to keep quiet? They must come out. They must come out. They must come out. They must. Until you go and jail the person that ate 13.9 billion meant for Asoro Clinic. And why is Yoruba media not writing about it? Why are you not a journalist? All of you, that Trump, that girl, whatever rubbish name is, why can't you write about 13.9 billion stolen by Fulani kleptomaniacs, thieves there? We are the cabal. It's still, the post is still junior for me. And the funniest thing is that all the billionaires you have in the zoo, all the billionaires they made as a direct input from oil sales, isn't it? That's how they make their money, all of them. From Alakija to Dangote is a money launderer. He launders money for them. Who doesn't know? Which billionaire do you have in the zoo that you have is that directly attributable to oil? Isn't it? Obasanjo was there, gave his license to everybody, gave it to his brother, Adenuga. Every day, keep sharing it. That is why every time they lock the Fulani, they have this alliance. You're going to lose Yoruba land. What happened in London is going to happen everywhere. But they cannot succeed in Biafra land. We see what they're doing in Ohafia and everywhere else. In Ongwa today as well, we've seen all of that rubbish. And they know one day we'll rise up. And everything that they do, I remind the world what they're doing. So any day we'll rise up. You won't come and be telling me your rubbish about secession. Because if I go to a meeting and a white person tells me about secession, I'll go there and I'll slap the idiot. I'm telling you the truth, I'll do it. Then I'll go to prison in the Western world. That's rubbish. Now that they are there killing people, you cannot see it. Now that Fulani soldiers and Janjaweed are everywhere killing, you can't see it. But then they will rise up, it's no longer be. We'll get there very shortly. We'll get there. Abakari stole 13.9 billion in broad daylight. And the EU are calling him a statesman. And the EU is fighting corruption. He went to negotiate. Nobody in Germany asked him, this one you are coming, are you the minister responsible? Is that a portfolio? Because they are part of the gang. They know that Buhari is no more. And to buy their silence, they're shipping money to them. And the time now is 7 minutes past the top of the hour. So I don't know if people have the data to continue listening to me this evening. But those on radio can continue. Those who, if your data is finished and you want to disengage, I can understand. You can go maybe to the app, or you can go somewhere else to listen. If you feel that Facebook Live is too much for you, then I will excuse you quite gladly. But we must preach this gospel. It's very important. It's very, very important. We'll preach it. I am now going to give you the names of your professors. They love to write for Vanguard or Sunday. They write very good. They write. They spend 2 weeks researching what they're going to write. They plagiarize from all over the world, and they sit down and they compose, cut and paste. And they'll be, the grammar is sweet. Oh, that's what they'll be saying. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. That is Professor Akinwande Bolaji Akinyemi, a professor. The former, is he still alive? I don't know if he's still alive or not. He's a professor, born in 1942. Prof. That's another professor, Joe Uche Angela Obu, former foreign minister. I'm calling out their names. These are professors. Because I want you to go and ask them, please, they are professor. In which system of government is the chief of staff more powerful than the vice president? Please tell us. That's why I'm calling their names tonight. Shame them and disgrace them. So when they write their junk again for any reason, you know they're idiots. Once he said, I remember what a friend told me many years ago in London. He said, if he goes into a meeting and somebody says, I'm a professor and that person is a black man from Africa, he will punch him in the nose. Because they're useless. Honestly, they're just useless. That is coronavirus. You have professors of microbiology. Where are you? Your mates are abroad developing vaccine. You are at the TVC studio talking rubbish about how you transmit the disease. Here we don't have pity for idiots. That is Professor Sherif Folarin of Conway University. He is a professor and head of the Department of Political Science and International Relations. Big title. And I'm asking him, I'm asking this international relations man, where on this earth does ordinary secretary to the cabinet come out in front of the television to make policy pronouncements for the government? Where on earth have you seen that before? Where on earth have you seen it before? Where have you seen it? That is Professor Daniel Eseme, Berevia. University of Nigeria Nsukka has Nduaka, professor in political science. That is Professor Ezan Emmanuel Onyebuchi, UNN. Professor Ibano Kichukwu Obinna, UNN. Professor Okolie Aloysius Michael Nabugu. That is Professor Anifo Woshe Francis Rem. If you don't call them professor, they'll get upset. They'll get angry. I'm calling them to shame them. Answering professor for nothing, wearing big gun for nothing, causing heat and contributing to global warming by giving off excessive amount of carbon dioxide by wearing that rubbish that they wear and cover their heads with. Professor my foot. Professor Babalawe Gabriel Olatunde, but the funny thing is that there's no Almajiri here. Very, very sad indeed. They don't go to school. They do not go to school, do they? They don't go to school. Very funny people. Very funny people. Professor Ikegwon, Professor Onwachukwu, Professor Unanka, Professor Njoko, I want to ask all these professors, where did you learn on this earth that a chief of staff is more powerful than the vice president? Where on this earth did you learn that ordinary secretary to the cabinet, Boss Mustafa, can come out and make a statement on the position of the government? It's unbelievable. That is to tell you, all these things, they lead to one fact. There is nobody inside Aso Rock. It's empty. Absolutely empty. All these mad professors are polluting the brain cells of their students and the entire country, of unthinking human beings only. They are a worse calamity than Fulani government. They cannot come out and speak and say this is not how a democracy should work. Professor Mayfield. Very soon there'll be anarchy on the streets of the zoo. Hunger will drive people out, they will come outside to protest, and then that revolution will start in earnest. No wonder Nigerian universities are in a mess. Some of them go to school from year 1 to the day they graduate. They have never seen running water. They use Mpalaka. They use Mpalaka lantern, Mpalaka the village one with oil in it and a piece of cloth to write thesis. No wonder the zoo is a mess. They use ordinary lamp, not even tele lamp, ordinary kerosene lamp to study. These are undergraduates. Unbelievable. These are the type of professors you have. Look at how useless they are. They are there and things are... Oh my goodness. Let us read a letter from a graduate of Nigerian University. Please. Maybe he went to Ado Bayero University. He went to Ado Bayero University. Let us read the letter, please. Office of the Executive Governor of Kano State. Is it Kano State of Nigeria? To whom it may concern. It's about COVID-19 exemption. He is writing a letter. These are one of the quota people, because once the Sultan is sitting there, no wonder we score 320 to go to Unity School, and then they only have to score 2. Some of them only have to attend, and they're going to Unity Schools. And at the end of the day, they must graduate, whether I like it or not. They must graduate them from ABU, Zaria. And tomorrow they'll tell me he's an elite. These are the idiots calling IPOB full of intellectuals. These are the idiots. Let me read one of their letters that the world may hear. The whole world is listening. This is a letter from Nigeria, from the government, from the office of the governor of Kano State. And the letter goes this way. To whom it may concern, exemption from Kano State COVID-19 lockdown order. Please, you got that one right. Compliment of the day. Hey. Compliment of the day. I replace with E. Compliment of the day. I am with pleasure wish to bring to your notice the Kano State stakeholders of table water was exempted from the Kano State COVID-19 lockdown order, having falls on the category of essential service providers to the public. I'll have some energy and continue. In this regards, Kano State government will be appreciative of your accordance of any possible assistance stroke cooperation that the company may require from your end. Accept the assurances of my sincere regards. Another chief of staff. What do you call it? Chief of staff. They love this position, chief of staff. Chief of staff to the governor of Kano State. He's a doctor. He's a PhD holder. Dr. Ali Abubakar Makoda. Church Abasala. Hey! Zu alumni. He is a doctor, a PhD holder. He is the chief of staff to the governor of Kano State. And the compliment of the day. I am with pleasure wish to bring to your notice that Kano State stakeholders of table water. Hey! These are the people that Yoruba people are supporting. Yeah? These are the people that Yorubas are supporting. Are you sure that they are well? Are you sure people are not getting mad? There's some oh my goodness. Goodness me. I can't continue. This is the quality of written word in English. Because English is language, of course, is not everybody's language, I accept that. These are the people that said that Bayelsa oil belongs to them. Unbelievable. Hey, Nigerian universities. It is a place where they train, as somebody wrote, they train cultists, Yahoo boys, and prostitutes. Serial queen. All they know is selfie and laptop and alcohol. And where the lecturers, demand for sex to give them marks. All they know how to do is to go on strike. They use their research grants, even including the professors of microbiology, to go and buy expensive cars and build houses. Only people like me can reset their brain. And that's what we're doing. And it's going to work. You watch and see. I was this way with our people when we started. If some of you can remember. Some were crying and saying, you're insulting us. I'm not insulting you. One day you will thank me for it. You begin to reason like a human being. If you reason like an average black person, you're doomed. You're finished. You can never see running water all your life. You can never have electricity for 24 hours all your life. If you reason the way you do now, in the zoo, in Nigeria, you are doomed. I don't hate anybody. What I say is out of love and kindness. I must tell you, it's not out of hate. Why would I hate anybody? I want your progress. Everybody, even including Alamajiri in the north. I want everyone to be free. I want them to go to good schools. I want the Alamajiri children in Kano, in Katsina, in Sokoto, in Kaduna. I want them to go to good schools. I want them to have a good life. All of them, one after the other, from top to bottom. I have nothing against them. What I have something against is mediocrity. Fulani mediocrity and Yoruba hypocrisy. I cannot stand it. I can't. God, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. That's why I say what I say. And the duplicity of Biafrans, duplicity. Cunning behavior. I can't stand it either. But thankfully, we have cured our own illness. We started our own COVID-19 treatment from 2012. In fact, from 2009. But we brought in the drip, the intravenous. From 2009 was ordinary tablet. From 2012, we started to give them intravenous. And today their brains are functioning. That is why if you can't defeat us anyway, no, we are. No, we are. If you want us to fight on Twitter, we go. You want Instagram, we go there. You'll be the one to beg and run away. This is IPOB. We're not. It's not like we're a bunch of the best of the best is in IPOB. If you don't know, we just kept quiet. That's the same where we come from. That's the trick we bring on them. They are towns. We said yes. They are opportunists. We said okay. They are miscreants. But we are doing our job. We are doing it. Now that Corona has exposed everything, they are now running to us and saying, please come and help. That's how we do it. Because we are IPOB and we are blessed from heaven. Blessed from heaven. I do not hate anybody. Heaven is my witness. Everything I do out of compassion, out of love. Even when I castigate you, I do it out of compassion. I want you to change to be a better person. I want to travel to Yoruba land when they are free. And everything is working. I want it, of course. I want people in Baggy. I want Baggy people. I want PG people. I want everywhere to be developed. The same thing I want for my children is what I want for you and your children. That's what I want. Look at the oil you're accusing me of. Oil is worthless. To bring it out of the ground is more expensive than actually selling it. But we are still doing what we are doing. We are still pursuing what we are pursuing. I hate mediocrity. I cannot stand it. And do you know why we are the way we are? Some of you may have forgotten, but I'll remind you. There was a creed we used to recite when we started this very movement. I wrote about one of them earlier today. The oath I took in Jerusalem when I went to ask permission from God to do this very work. The oath I took before God. There is a creed we used to have, and I want to recite it for the whole world to hear. what we believe in, what we are pursuing, and why IPOB is undefeatable by any man. Only God cannot man. No man. Write it down. That's how you was boasting as I am not boasting. I am telling you, nobody can stop IPOB. You cannot. In all that we do in IPOB, we have been guided by this very ancient creed of those that liberated the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem from the Muslims. Understand it very clearly. I don't hate Muslims, I love them, but they have no business being in Jerusalem. They should be in Mecca and in Medina, not in Jerusalem. I know it's not a very clever thing to say, but it's the truth, and I'm saying it. You will love the Lord thy God with all thy heart. You must be without fear before your enemies. You must speak the truth always, even if it leads to your death. That is what we do. Always. It does. If you do wrong, we'll tell you. As EU is supporting evil and criminality in the zoo, we are telling them. We speak the truth always. Even if it leads to our death, we don't give a damn. We must help the poor and defend those who cannot defend themselves. That's what I do every day of my life. Defend the poor and those who cannot defend themselves. That God may love us. That's why IPOB is indestructible. These very 4 sentences that we recite in our heart that guides us. We don't have any babalawo. None. It's only this. Place everything before God in heaven. We are man, we are fallible. We are flesh. We are fallible, we know that. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, God forbid. I'm not. Nobody is. But we are guided by this. We must remain without fear before our enemies. Always. And to speak the truth. Even if it leads to our death, we must defend the poor and the helpless. It is your job in IPOB not to kidnap them. You must defend them. That is your job. That is what you swore to uphold. To help those who cannot help themselves. That is our motto. That is our creed. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. That is what we do. That is what we do. We have not finished. We have not finished. We are live and direct. We are going to tag people as we proceed. We are going to mount a Twitter campaign tonight and tomorrow morning. Hey, Chineke, my name is. Of course, we will continue. We will burn Twitter down. Complete. To let all those eras know that they are not in the league of IPOB. You are not in our league. We have confronted the UN. The UN, we are begging us. We have seen everything. Please don't come to us again. We have seen it and we'll do something about it. How do you think I was released from jail? Is El Zagzagi out? Of course not. How do you think I was released from jail? This IPOB, this people you're calling them miscreants. IPOB was on the case of the UN. Everywhere any head of state is going live, we are there bombarding them until they called us and told them, leave that man to go immediately. That's how I left Kuje prison, if you don't know. These people you're calling me, these people, you don't know what is IPOB. We gave them a sample, we just gave Twitter a sample, only 2 hours, and they were crying that their servers can't even cope. We do what we do to save the zoo, to save you from your stupidity. That's what we do. You may not like it, but it's the truth. You may not like it, but it is the truth. Why are we saying this? Oil, that oil. O-Y-E-L, oil. That you get from Izombe. Oil that is everywhere. Oil that is in our land. You know, oh my goodness. Dear me. Oil price has fallen so low. Listen carefully. For you, they are now begging people to take it for free. They will even pay you $5 to take the oil for free. Allow me to repeat. Oil, that oil, you people love so much. That Buhari love so much. And that Akiari. And all those Fulani illiterates, they love oil and gas. Hey, upstream, downstream, oil sector. That's all they love. That Abba Kyari family is in charge of. Are you listening to me? That oil now, a ship went out with oil and came back. Nobody wanted to buy it. Are you aware of that? Some of you actually are aware of that. You don't know. For the first time in history, oil price has fallen, which is Bonelite, has fallen. That Nigeria is now begging people to offload it. They have now spent more money pushing this ship around trying to look for a buyer than the actual oil that is carrying to sell. Do you understand me? Do you know what they said? This is from CNN. For the first time, they're actually correct. You know what they said? Nigeria may have one of the worst governments in the world. So they know. That is why we must continue tweeting. Nigeria has one of the worst governments in the world. The whole world knows. They know about Jubril. They know that Buhari is dead. It's only a matter of time. Let COVID-19 finish. The zoo is gone. And they know it. They are fighting a losing battle, and they know. Hey, are we the type of people that you come to with sense? You want to do sense with us? IPOB? And you think you'll defeat us? Yeah. Well, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Now, listen very carefully. Some of you do not know why Bill and Melinda just said what. There was an idiot and a fulefu that wrote. He thought if he says that I attacked Bill and Melinda Gates, that somehow they will renew his visa to go back to America. He's a one zoo animal like that. And I will attack them again tonight. Bill and Melinda Gates, they know what you don't know. They brought COVID-19 in because they were the ones sponsoring the doctor that gave China, that was working with China, Dr. Lieber. He's going to jail for 66 years. It is there for the whole world to see. Bill Gates was funding that very laboratory. At Harvard. Look at how much they're going to Harvard. That means that they take anybody now. It's no longer an Ivy League, after all. Rubbish. Those that COVID-19 failed to kill, hunger and starvation will kill them. Or the radiation coming from 5G will also help. That is why I am calling on all governors in Biafra land to work with the people, please, to guarantee that we have constant supply of food. Our people are starved between 67 and 70, please. We don't want to go through that again. We cannot afford to go through that again. I'm also appealing to Biafrans all over the world, please. All over the world, please. Make sure you provide something for your village. I'm begging you. Make sure you provide something for your village all over the world. We cannot afford to go through starvation again. We can't afford to do so. And I'm begging all the governors in Biafra land, please. We don't want to go through the mess that our parents saw between 67 and 70. We are begging you. As I said, I will not be hostile to anybody unless you do something that warrants it. But for now, please, I am appealing to all the governors to make sure that they work with the people to ensure that it's food. After COVID-19, of course, all hostilities will be resumed. For now, we must come together to make sure that we save our people from starvation and from hunger. Very, very important. Their life is more important than anything else. And we must make sure we keep our people alive as much as we can. The people that you have now in Aso Rock, nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows who is in charge. There is no Osibajo. He's the only one who's elected to actually do something. He's no longer there. What they have done with him, we do not know. Nigeria as the great zoo is gone as we know it. It will never ever be the same again because I am not going to relent. We have gone for the truth and that's where we're going to remain until the whole world makes, of course it is already a laughing stock. Nigeria is a laughing stock among the diplomatic community around the world. They are finished. They are gone. Nobody takes them seriously anymore. That was why they went to China to go and bring in murderers and killers. And since the Chinese came, the mortality rate has gone up of COVID-19. 150 people died in Kano alone. They don't take my word for it. Daily Trust, which is a Janja witness, overcarried it. So go and ask them, it is there. They are digging graves even as we speak right now. They are digging fresh graves in mass burial sites in and around Kano City. And now let us go to the main one that some of you will be shocked to hear about. You know that Nigeria runs what is called a rentier economy. They only have one produce, they only sell one thing, and they import everything else. That is the economics of the Janjaweed economics of Fulani people. Now, as I've been warning you for very many years, it has come home to roost. And now let me tell you what they're saying. States may get zero allocation in June over oil price crash, says Governors Forum chairman. I will repeat. The state governor and chairman of the Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has said that states may get zero allocation from federal accounts and fiscal commission in June owing to the drastic fall in oil prices around the world. Are you listening? There is no more money to pay teachers, no more money for those that come for monthly allocation, all those corrupt traditional rulers, all those corrupt ex-politicians that go to government house every month to go and collect allocation. There is no money for June. Remember when I told you to join Biafra? Remember when I told Nigerians that freedom is the best way forward? That things are no longer working? They laughed at us. They called us all manner of names. They said everything about us, even some of them unprintable. You know what's happening now? There is no more money to allocate to states. Are you listening to me? This is from the Ekiti State Governor, the chairman of the Governors Forum. No more money to allocate. No more money to allocate. The zoo is gone. As they say, it's over for the zoo. They're finished. Common unseen virus, a tiny virus. The so-called giant of Africa. The most populous nation, black name, talking about people talk rubbish. That's crashed. There is no money because in any civilized part of the world, once you fail to pass your budget, you're finished. They can no longer pay teachers. They can no longer pay their workers. Pensioners are doomed. On top of that, there is a lockdown. There is coronavirus everywhere. A perfect setting. Unless the people rise up now to revolt, 100 million will be too small, the number that will die. And then you know that Bill and Melinda Gates, that they descended from Lucifer. Are you listening to me? There is no money for allocation to states. Are you listening to me? There is no more money. It's over. It's finished. The party is over. It's gone. You're talking. Buhari should choose his own chief of staff. I bet they know that Buhari is no longer there. You're deceiving yourselves. You are lying to yourselves. You are deceiving yourselves. You are lying to yourselves. In my life, I never lied to myself. Tell myself the truth. And now the setting is perfect. And let me tell you what EU will say. EU will say that Fulani terrorism and banditry, or should I say Mieti ala banditry, well, you know, before they used to say, when I go to all these meetings with the UN and all the rest of them, they used to tell me that, Mr. Kano, the reason why they are talking you is because they're looking for where to graze their animal. And I asked them, okay, is that what happens in your place? No, it doesn't happen. That's why we are working with them. With the pastoralists to try. Imagine them. Let me say what they will say. Because what the Fulanis are doing now is trying to use the chaos to advance and to invade. If we now complain to EU will say to us that hunger is the primary driver of all these behaviors. It will no longer be access to water for the cattle. It will not be hunger. So if they are smart, so to speak, if they are actually intelligent, to be honest with you, the Fulanis, I mean, now is the time to invade the South. Now is time to Islamize everybody. If they are smart, that is. If they are smart, that is. Now is the time. Now is the time to invade. I'm telling you that. Now is the time to invade. Are you listening to me? You are now at the mercy of the Janjaweed. They control the army, they control the police, they control civil defense, they control the air force, they control the navy, they control everything. Even the little man that is left, they're the ones controlling it. The ones that Abakari did not steal and his family, they're controlling it. And you know, people are hungry all over the world. Maybe by tomorrow, the U.S. ambassador in Abuja will call for more money. They'll give her more money. Maybe they'll give her maybe $2 million. The British High Commissioner, they'll give her maybe $3 million. The EU, they'll give EU $5 million as bribe. So that when things start happening, they'll say, it's the hunger. Oh, there's chaos everywhere. There's hunger, and that's why they attacked. Meanwhile, they are happy. They are killing you. You don't know that the EU is happy anytime that the Fulanis kill people because your population is reducing. It is coming down. That's what they want. It was written many, many years ago, 1973, by Dr. Henry Kissinger, that Africans are so stupid, you need to depopulate them. They are useless. They have no resources, but they are hopeless. It's now happening. So anytime the Fulanis kill anybody, Britain and Europe, they're very happy. Hey, they're very happy. They're very happy. At least the population of those monkeys is going down, so they're very happy. But you don't know, do you? Only here will tell you the truth. And the truth is what will set you free. That is why they attack the army, Nigerian army themselves. When I complained to the world, I went to America. I was telling politicians on Capitol Hill that Nigerian soldiers they are more deadly than Boko Haram. Nobody believed me. But do you know that Nigerian soldiers have repeatedly attacked remote villages in Ebonyi State? Umogudu, Umbo, Haupu, the government area of Ebonyi State. Constantly, the Nigerian army, they come because they come and IPOB will repel them. They come, the Janjaweed, the Fulani terrorists, Mietiala will come, will repel them. They will not send the army to go and clear the way for them. And the army will come, kill our people, sack our villages, burn down our houses, destroy our crops, and then the Mietiala can now move in to occupy the place. Meanwhile, Dave Umahi is there. As an Igbo leader. I said I will not criticize anybody, but what's happening in Ebonyi State is terrible. And when you go outside, and when I tell the EU that they're killing us in Ebonyi, they will say, oh, but it's that they're looking for water for their cattle to drink. The whole EU. They're looking for water for their cattle to drink. Can you believe such nonsense? Can you believe such nonsense? Army went to, we have a video of the place, it's shared online, is everywhere. Army went to that very place and started killing people. Nigerian army. Like, they're not fighting Boko Haram, but they're in Ebonyi State killing people. On one side, the Chinese are installing their 5G to radiators. We are fighting coronavirus also in Ebonyi State. The army is attacking us inside the same Ebonyi State. We are in one almighty mess. And should anything happen to us, you hold World Igbo Congress responsible. You hold them responsible. When I told you in 2015, we need guns and we need bullets to defend our land, they said, no, you're a warmonger. The Fulanis are coming. They have bribed the EU. All EU will say is they're looking for is hunger. There's hunger everywhere. They will not blame the Fulani Janjaweed oligarchy for impoverishing the country. They will never blame them. They say, oh, there's hunger everywhere. There's hunger everywhere. Watch and see what they will say. Fulani have come to take over the South. People, it's way too late anyway. We have to fight our way out of it when the time comes. But our people need to be taught a lesson. So that when next they hear a prophecy, Gideon Oka warned you in 1990. You didn't listen. Gideon Oka warned you in 1990. Did you listen? No, you didn't. You were doing your one Nigeria. Hey, don't come and bring trouble for us here. Don't come and bring trouble for us here. But now trouble has come to your doorstep. The army are in Ongwana killing people for no reason. If the Fulanis come to your farm and destroy your crops and you drive their cattle away, they will call the nearest Nigerian army formation. They will come and start killing people in the village. And will Yoruba newspapers write about it? No. Will channels report it? No. That they are doing a to somebody you're interviewing. You're doing a job. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Zoom. But it is not limited only to Biafra land. I want to tell you the level of compromise and deceit at the heart of Yoruba journalism. Deceit. As we are discussing the rot inside Aso Rock, so are we discussing how terrible and awful Yoruba journalism is. This is Punch newspaper, a Yoruba paper, writing about a Fulani attack in a Yoruba village. That's why I told you that cowards should not be journalists. Cowards should not do journalism. Residents fled from Fulani headsmen, and I'm sure some people from this community will be online with their techno. Say, oh, no, they can't. Oh, you're a coward. Oh, you ran away. But they have run from their village, or they fled from their village. Because Fulani Janjaweed, Mietiana invaded the village. No fewer than 5 villages were sacked in Ondo. You know what Punch said? Allegedly. Reportedly. Are you listening? They said Facebook should leave us alone. They are panicking. Facebook is panicking. Punch newspaper, Yoruba paper. Yoruba people called a Yoruba editor and said, I don't know how to speak Yoruba. He says, up me or whatever, Zakami, I don't know. Said, we are being attacked. We've been sacked from our village. Benny, I think they said Benny. We are being attacked in our village. A Yoruba editor wrote, after finding out that it is true, that these villages were being attacked in Adejubu, Adewole, Oloti, Oloddan, and Jojo, in Akure North Government area. Yoruba people phoned a Yoruba editor and told him, we are under attack. These villages have been sacked in Yoruba land. You know what he said? He wrote, allegedly. Allegedly. We are reportedly sacked. But let one Fulani, let one Mieti Allah terrorist fall in the encounter. You see them. Oh, Fulani man was killed. A Fulani man was killed. Oh, police is angry. Army is angry. That is the zoo you're in. That is why I call Nigeria a zoo. That is the zoo that you're living in. And I'm not more Nabalia in the spirit. I must preach this gospel. I have to. I know for some of you it's a drain on your data, but I have to preach it. I have to. This was the reason why 30 years ago, Gideon Oka warned you, they are coming. They are now killing in Ebonyi. They are killing in Ondo. They are sacking villages in Benue. Everywhere is under siege. The army and the police are at the disposal of Mieti Allah. Mieti Allah control them. These are terrorists. All of them terrorists from police down. Everybody in the zoo. In the zoo. What Gideon Oka did is a kind of Biafra that he was looking for. He said to leave the Janjaweed to go. You people are deaf and dumb. You are deaf and you are dumb, all of you. Leave the core north to go. The Sharia north, leave them to go. But you won't listen. Look at where you are now. They run the economy down, flatten everything. There is no investment. Nothing is working as parochial. As horrible as possible. These are evil men. Evil. That's when I hear somebody write anything good about them, I hate that very person. That's how my life is. I don't tolerate evil. I don't tolerate evil in my... I don't. God is... I don't tolerate evil. That's why I don't have friends. I don't need it. Those who are close to me are those that will see evil and condemn it, regardless of where it's coming from. You condemn it and say it is bad. We are not joking. We are very, very serious about what we are doing. That is why we are pursuing Biafra the way we are. I don't want to bore you this evening with additional videos of what people are saying about Africa, because they won't affect you, will it? Even if they are slaughtering you in China, you will still go to that China, even bring in the person doing the killing and ask him to come to Aso Rock and help you out. Because you have no president. You're telling him that the Buhari we used to know will be alive and people are dying and he'll keep quiet? His favorite Alamajiri will be dying in Kano and he'll keep quiet. Is that what you're telling me? Buhari? The old Buhari we used to know? And Yoruba journalists, they see all these things with their two eyes. But because of ambition, and let us get one over the evil. You are supporting evil. That evil is not in Ondo. It's in Oyo. The same evil that took Ilorin from you, it has come again. I'm not asking anybody to work with us. But if you don't work with us, you're doomed. You're finished. And why wouldn't they kill us all off? Nigeria was created to not to make you a human being, but to enslave you. That is why people are fighting to preserve one Nigeria, a product of a white man. I can't understand black people. I can't understand black people, for goodness sake. Before 1914, who were you before 1914? Who were you? The Janjaweed, they think without, they are fighting for one Nigeria because they need access to the sea and they need access to the oil. That's all. The Yoruba can give access to the sea. And we can pipe oil to them. And that will be it. Those people, after all, they are related to people in Ilorin. Ilorin is an emirate. Ilorin is a Fulani emirate. So they're related. They can give them access to the sea if they want. What I'm saying is this: people will say, "Oh, but you're driving the Yorubas to embrace the Fulani." I say, I don't care who you embrace. But God in heaven said that Nigeria is over and is over. You can't kill. You cannot. It's like Humpty Dumpty. It has fallen, the head has broken into pieces. You cannot patch it together again. It's gone. So as long as their worst mistake was to conceal the death of Buhari, that was the, oh my God, I serve is wonderful. And I told IPOB in 2014 that God said that that he will use Buhari to give us Biafra. And I said it on air, live on air. And the day on the 17th of January 2017, Buhari died. As soon as that idiot came in June, was it June or July? Or was it August? July, he made that broadcast. I said, thank God in heaven. My parents are dead as a result of that assault. And my men have fallen as a result of that very assault. Many fell as a result of it. But Biafra is coming. For hiding the death of Buhari, the zoo is gone. Let me see the white man that will sit in front of me and tell me that what the Fulanis did is good. It's because of their cattle. Let me hear that rubbish. And then they will know. It's gone. It's the highest fraud of the century. The greatest fraud of all time. I now want to tell the world that the Fulanis are more, the Fulanis and the Sudanese, they are more fraudulent than any other person you can ever meet. Very horrible, horrible people. Since before the death of Abba Kyari, have you heard from Junaid Mohammed again? Have you heard from Tanko Yakasai again? Have they criticized what they are doing? They claim to be the standard bearers of Arewa morality. Have they spoken? They claim they're educated. I call them Alamajiri education. Have they spoken? Have you heard from them? They are sharing money. They are looting. And all that Yoruba is doing is writing in support. The Mr. President. Somebody was saying, Mr. President, there is no president. Your son, Osibanjo, should be the president. You are so terrified. You are so scared. You cannot speak the truth. That's cowardice. You're calling him Buhari with that hole in his neck? With that hole in his neck, I ask you, the zoo has fallen. The zoo has fallen. And as they are looting, they are burning. As they are looting, they are burning. It's unbelievable. When I complain about Yoruba journalism, people don't understand. Let me tell you something. There are three things holding people in the zoo called Nigeria. One is ignorance. That's number one. Ignorance. The ignorance of an average Nigerian is astonishing. One is ignorance. Second one is full and mediocrity. Janjaweedism. Janjaweedism. Fulani mediocrity. The third one is Yoruba media. Before God and man, Yoruba media has done more damage to the psyche of Nigeria than any other sector. They are evil, pure evil, and I will prove it to you. And I can post it. The very picture I sent you of different headlines of the same incident. I'll read it for you. You know, they stole money from Jos CBN. They stole money from Jos CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria in Jos. As part of this Fulani, they are raiding the treasury because there's no money there. Fulani is stealing all out looting right now. That's what they're doing. That's why there's no money to give to the states. But let me tell you what's happening. They set they're burning everywhere. As they steal, they burn. Fulani. They were burning CBN office in Jos. Let me tell you what Yoruba media reported. First headline from Sahara Reporters. Fire God's CBN office in Jos, which is correct. Second, Vanguard, that I used to respect and like so much. Vanguard of all people. No records destroyed in CBN Jos branch fire outbreak. Official. Are you listening? Are you listening? They never bothered to send any investigator, any reporter. Go and see if that building was burnt or not. They sat in their offices and said, no records were destroyed. They've not even told you if there was any fire at all or not. We'll continue. Pulse. What did Pulse report? Pulse said, CBN, not their reporter. And I keep asking you, don't you people have reporters? Can't your reporters go to where all this mayhem is taking place and file a report? They don't do it. They're in the offices, waiting for 4,600. CBN reports fire outbreak at Jos branch. They are relying on CBN, no? Exactly what that useless fake news CNN does. They no longer investigate. Now listen to this day newspaper. This day said, fire outbreak averted at CBN Jos branch. How? So there was a... Oh my goodness. The fire was about to take hold and it was averted. This is from a newspaper. Can you believe that? They're all in Abuja and in Lagos. They are all close to each other. You're telling me, my God. The damage that Yoruba newspapers, Yoruba media, channels, TV, all Punch, all this, the damage they are doing to your brains, they are worse than your professors. They are worse than, do you see how the entire edifice of Nigeria, both education, listen, education, useless, media, useless, government, hopeless. Is it judiciary? There is no aspect of Nigeria that you have people who are normal running it. Do you see how bad Nigeria is? That Nigeria that is your country, you see how terrible it is? Even your own newspapers. There was a fire outbreak in Jos. One is reporting the place is burnt. One is saying that CBN said no files were damaged, which means there was fire. And this day he's saying fire outbreak was averted. Hi, journalism in Nigeria. Oh my word, who did this to black people? Who did this to you, Yoruba media? Who did this? Must you be evil? Must you be evil? Must you be evil? When they finish looting us rock, maybe they'll burn it as well. And that's one they have. The person wearing that mask now, there, I suspect is Femi Adesina, because Jubril is in Cuba. I think Femi Adesina is wearing that mask now. Anybody can wear it. Anybody can wear the mask and wave and move your mouth as if you're talking. Your mind. And these are intellectuals in Lagos. Intellectuals. Sophisticated morons. Sophisticated idiots. Sophisticated cowards. It makes me sick. I don't even know them and the Janjaweed, who I hate the most. Sophisticated idiots. You went to school. You can reason. You saw somebody with a hole in his neck. A hole in his neck. And you're saying that is Buhari. You people are evil. Evil people. It's Buhari. Okay, bring him out now. Yoruba, bring Yoruba media. Bring out the Buhari you have in Asorok. Bring him out. You know, you like to do a karoma. You do a karoma to him. Bring him outside to interview him. Then your shame will be complete. You people should not be practicing journalism. You shouldn't. Practicing journalism. You should not. I'm telling you. At least there's one thing I admire about the Fulani terrorists is the fact that they never reward traitors. You see, as incompetent and as foolish as they are, you see all these cattle rearers, all these Isaiah and King Gilbert and Mamandara, you see Fulani Caliphate, they don't reward traitors. And I want to prove it to you tonight. As horrible as they are, do you know that they refused to give Baba Gana King Gilbert the chief of staff position? Do you know why? Because they told him, you betrayed Abiola. You know this man ran with Abiola for office. This man he collected money from Abacha and abandoned Abiola's campaign to reclaim his mandate. Do you know they remanded him 3 days ago? He will be shocked how I know this. They reminded him 3 days ago. You betrayed, of course, Abiola is a Yoruba man, but you betrayed him. That goes to show that you are not a team player. You will also betray us. That was why they started pushing for Ahmed to take over. That was how King Gilbert lost out. You'll be shocked now. Who told the Nnamdi Kanu this? But we are everywhere. How do I know that you're having a meeting with the governors today? Our intelligence branch is called the M branch. There is nothing we don't know. Even before you carried out your attack, both in Ebonyi and in Ngwa, today we knew you were going to attack. And as you attack, so is the State Department. Everybody all over the world, they have every attack you make in Biafra land. Do you know what? Where we keep work and we give it to the world. So the day we'll commence our own. Nobody will say that they are seceding. They will be the ones to open them out and say that they are fighting for their survival. Now you say the trick where you think you're brainy. We are IPOB now, we are too intelligent. Keep attacking us. Keep attacking and burning up. We have all the records. And the whole world, they have it. The day we commence our march to Sokoto, let me say the bastard from anywhere that will say that they're seceding. Then they will know how mad we are. Useless zoo. They told Baba Gana King Gilbert, you're a traitor. We cannot have you to represent Buhari. You cannot be the one to rule the country because that chief of staff is the ruler of Nigeria. Now that's why they're not touting Ahmed. You think they don't know? And of course, Abiola was a thief. Who doesn't know that? Was Abiola not a criminal? Did you not listen to Fela? International thief, ITT contract that Abiola stole. When I say they say he's insulting you, I'm not insulting you. Abiola was a thief. Who doesn't know that he was a criminal? He was doing Muslim, funding everything that they were doing in the north. He thought they would give it to him. After what Abiola did for the north, they did not give it to him. Who is Tinubu? Who is he? They didn't give it to Awolowo. They didn't give it to our Abiola. Who are you? Who are you? It's me preaching Nnamdi Kanu. When I preach, I tell you the truth. You may not like it, but it's the truth. After all. The killing is so much that even the Christian Association of Nigeria, they have gone into quarantine. Have you heard from them again? Your Christian Association, they have collected money. But you go on Sunday, you give them tithe online. Pay 10%. And you don't ask them when Christ is coming. You don't contribute a dime to IPOB. You're asking Nnamdi Kanu, when is this your Biafra coming? When is it coming? But you go to mosque and you give whatever you have to your mom. You go and you give to your daddy GO, you give them money. They are preaching the kingdom of God, isn't it, every blessed day? Have you ever asked them, have you ever said to them, I will no longer pay title unless you tell me when Jesus is coming? You want to go and ease yourself in a place where the grass is taller than you. It's not done that way now. We are too intelligent for all those idiots. Now, I can tell you. Ganduje, the same criminal in Kanu, the same Gandola that was taking dollars. All of a sudden, he's not corrupt too. But he was in a video stealing money. He was seen forcibly converting Christian girls to Islam in broad daylight. Nobody said anything. If that thing were to happen in Owerri, believe you me, all beings, the artillery division would be everywhere killing people. Did the Christian Association of Nigeria say anything? Because they have bombed them to silence. You know, that's the Fulani style intimidation. They tried the rubbish with me. I told them to piss off. I told them to go to hell. They have intimidated all of you. They are using Ilorin as a leverage over a psychological leverage over the Yoruba race. A very proud, educated race. I don't know why they're even like that. They took Ilorin from them. And they're suppressing them. That is, if you want to know what happened to the Yorubas, look at the Christian Association of Nigeria. It's called emasculation. They squashed them through killing, bombings, and threats from the IG of police, from Buratai, that in broad daylight, Christian girls are being forcibly converted to Islam. Nobody can say anything except IPOB. That's Nnamdi Kanu. The people say, we are one Nigerians, we love Nigeria, leave our country, Nigeria. Have they said anything? Legendary Zoological Republic. We are their savior. We are serving them. You say in the north they hold their Juma prayers, they're doing everything they can. But in the south, they are arresting pastors. A pastor had to bail himself with 1 million naira. With 1 million naira because they don't give a damn. Police commissioner is Islam. Police IG is Islam. Everybody is from Janjaweed from the north. Look at how they're holding you hostage. They are not up to 8% of the population. Look at how they're holding all of you hostage because of people in Yoruba land are cowards. That's why the only reason why Fulani is talking is because they are counting on Yoruba cowardice. That's all. They are counting on Yoruba cowardice. If Osibanjo were to be an Igbo man, I assure you. If Osibanjo were to be an Ijaw man, I assure you he will be the president of Nigeria. To hell with Fulani Janjaweed. To hell with them. But Yoruba, you are afraid. You are scared. You're frightened because they took a lot from you. Come out and be open. Don't hide behind wishy-washy grammar. Be open. Why are you not asking for Osibanjo? Why, I ask you? Because you are afraid. Because you are scared of Fulani Janjaweed. But we are not afraid of them. And they know it. They know it. Zoo has fallen. There is no president. There is no vice president. There is nobody running the zoo. They have looted all the money. And you are there carrying your useless green, white, and green, whatever rubbish. Is it green, white, green flag? Talking rubbish online. You think I'll let them go scot-free? Tomorrow we go back on the tweet. The world, we are going to every major news outlet in Africa. I said they must know what is happening in the zoo. The world must know. I told them, when Prophet Ngila was telling you, negotiate now, you said no. He said, Nnamdi Kanu. You said, I can stop them. They are thugs. They are miscreants. The man said, negotiate now. A time will come when you want to negotiate as they are doing now. There will be no space for that. And that time is now. And the zoo has fallen. I can assure you, it can never ever be the same again. If they call for a sovereign national conference, if they call for a confab, we will not attend it. It is too late. I want Yoruba to stand up as a race and as a people. Stand up for once and support what is right. Impunity and evil is happening. Stop supporting evil, Yoruba. Stop supporting evil. It's not good. In Lagos, they take a pastor. They said he broke the curfew. But in the north, you're having your Juma prayers. Nobody touches you. Nothing is happening. People are going about their business. Nothing. Governors came out and said, we are not locking down anything. Because your Christian Association of Nigeria run by, what is that idiot's name? That's the Christian Association of Nigeria chairman. They have defeated him, haven't they? Crushed him into the ground. That is why when you see IPOB, you respect IPOB. They did everything. About provocation. So I can go to war prematurely. Look at it as, hey, when is the war starting? As if I'm a fool. You think I will go to war without being prepared? I will go to war and I will lose? Is that what you think? Nnamdi Kanu will lead his men to war and I will lose? Who told you that? Rubbish. You don't know who we are. Remember when I told you that on the eve of my parents' burial, I did a broadcast and I told the commissioner of police in Abia State, no, 2 days before, I told him that you will leave. That people have come to Abia State. They tried to do gara with IPOB and they left. If you have a white person listening with you, tell them what gara is. They're trying to do, he was trying to do, I'm the CP, IPOB must leave. I told the idiot you're leaving very soon. And you know what happened today? The Fulani Inspector General of Police have now redeployed Abia State Commissioner of Police. He's off Abia State. He's off Abia State. That's how we roll in IPOB. Anything I tell you comes to pass. I told him, all these things you're doing, serving Alamajiri, you will be removed from Abia. You will be removed. Others have come, they have gone. There was a very nice Yoruba man who was a Commissioner of Police in Abia State. Very nice man, gentleman, well read. There was no problem in Abia State. IPOB, we don't carry guns. Nothing. But it's just Fulani primitivity. You know that primitive. Forget all that nonsense. Which Fulani went to Harvard? Which idiotic Fulani went to Harvard? And they look like, they look like a filthy ram. In a Salah market. Who told you when they went to Harvard? Those things went to Harvard? And the reason they do what they do? They went to Harvard? Oh, please spare me. It seems somebody will go down and purchase a diploma certificate and tell them they went to Harvard. Rubbish. You went to Harvard, there is no light, no running water, and imagine everywhere. You are looting money. You stole 13.9 billion. You say you went to Harvard Invest. So others they went to Harvard, they also looters as well. Are they looters? Nonsense. People hiding under their cowardice and writing rubbish. If you cannot stand the heat to get out from the kitchen, get away from there. You can't do it. You piss off from the kitchen. Let's do our work. Omahi is disturbing people in Ebonyi. Omahi is not fighting Fulani headsmen. Omahi is not fighting or stopping the killing of our people. Maybe, the way that God was. Sometimes God will leave people to wallow in their stupidity. Omahi is not doing it right. He should protect her. I don't want to fight any governor in this period. He should protect our people. The army are killing us. Of course, we've informed our contacts all over the world and informed governments all over the world as well as to what is happening in Ebonyi State. We are just putting it there. Not that they're going to do anything for us, but the day that we commence our own madness, nobody will blame us for it. That's all we are doing. It's simple as that. And Omahi arrested a journalist. We want him to release this very journalist, please. We want him to be released. He arrested a journalist. We want him to be released. And he has banned Sun Newspaper and Vanguard from reporting from the government house. He's an ordinary governor. Oh my goodness me. I don't know. Do you know the meaning of democracy? Freedom of speech is in their useless constitution. Written by another Janjaweed. It is there. Freedom of speech in Biafra land. No, you can say whatever you want to say about anybody. You're free to say it. Is your business. If you're sad or if you're angry, you file a libel suit in a court of law. How can you be banning and arresting journalists. What sort of nonsense is that? We don't like them. I don't like them myself. But when I see a journalist, I hate journalists to be molested. I do not like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't. It is not good. It is not good. It is not good. It was SARS again. 1 minute they say, oh, we've abolished SARS. The next minute, SARS are arresting people everywhere. SARS in Ebonyi State went and arrested a Vanguard correspondent in the name of Peter Okutu. We want him to be released, please. I don't know who he is, and I don't care to know. You must release Peter Okutu. He is a journalist doing his job. If you don't like what he is written, use your influence at the local magistrate court as you used to do. Go there and ask him to pay fine, or you jail him for libel. You don't send police to go and arrest a journalist. What for? Of course, it's a zoo. Why am I complaining? You don't practice. After all, your chief of staff is your president. So what do you know? It's a zoo. What do you know? I ask you, what do you know? You know nothing. Zoological Republic. He must be released. Therefore, you must release Peter Okutu. He has done nothing wrong. If he has published anything you don't like, as you have done, you can ban him from the state house as your prerogative. You're the governor. You can take him to court, but not to arrest him. He did not commit any crime. He only expressed a particular view which you do not agree with. That does not call for the arrest of the man. He has not killed anyone. So you must release him. Or else we'll add in the names of the people we are giving to the world as those that will be disciplined when Biafra comes. One wouldn't want to do that. Please, you must make sure you release him. He's done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong. You can ban them all you like, but you must release him. As I said earlier, the Nigerian army earlier today, because now it's 30 minutes past 10 p.m. in Biafra land, in a place called Akpa Mbato, in Obingo government area of Abia State. The Fulani people came with their cows as usual, looking for water to drink. As the EU said, they're looking for water to drink. They went into a farm, destroyed all the crops, and the youths chased them away. Within the next 10 minutes, the army came and arrested people in the nearby village. They arrested one Victor Aloma. Of course, we are informing the US. They'll be tired of hearing from us. Every time the Nigerian army commits one impunity or the other, I am informing the State Department in the US. And they know it. Victor Aloma, Yoruba media, are you listening to what your army is doing? Your gallant soldiers, to what they're doing? They arrested Victor Aloma. They arrested Chimobi Samuel. They arrested Omudo Enyina. They arrested Odiwoma Samuel. They arrested Enyiribe Enyina. They arrested Onyekachi Chikwendo. I want them released. You brought your cattle into their farms, destroyed all the crops, and they only asked your Janjaweed, your terrorists with cattle to move away, and the army came. Tell me why the army will be coming to defend Mietiala all the time. Why would Nigerian army be coming to defend terrorists? Because you have no president. Because you have no vice president. The Janjaweed, the Fulani cabal is in control, and the zoo has fallen. And I'm glad that Hope Uzodinma saw sense in his stupidity and revised the nonsense about him invest. Because he is the only thing keeping him in office is coronavirus. He's done with corona. As soon as corona is leaving, Hope Uzodinma is living with coronavirus. He should not be there. Hope Uzodinma should not be there. He shouldn't be there at all. Shouldn't be there. Abba Kyari, governor of Imo State, Supreme Court governor. And we have come to the end of tonight's epistle. I don't hate the Yorubas, I love them. As I said, I have a blood cousin who is half Yoruba. I love them very much. My sisters are married to Yorubas. I love them very much, but I want them to change. Yoruba must be very brave. to confront the Fulani and defeat them, you must be brave. No compromise. Don't go to the back and take money from them and try to fight them in the front. They will not respect you. They won't respect you. They respect IPOB because they know we are incorruptible. Incorruptible. If you IPOB announcements to make, our volunteer command must tell me within the next 2 months that we can now secure and maintain law and order within Biafran territories. I need that information, very, very important. And please, if you're coming from Kanu, do not travel to... Remain in Kanu, Kaduna and Zaria. Don't come to Biafra land, please. In Kanu, people are dying. If you are coming to Biafra land from Kanu, then I will know that they have sent you to infect our people. Please stay where you are. Stay where you are until this blows over. And our people must continue to maintain social distancing. Take vaccine from US, from the UK, than from China. Please, our people must try and remain safe. I thank you very much for listening this very evening. As always, we have worshipped Elohim here because everything that I've told you is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. That is why we say, unequivocally, without hesitation, without fear nor favor, that Biafra is our religion. And here on Radio Biafra is where we worship. Because Elohim is our God in heaven. From me, from here, it is good evening.